Hey, good morning, Bex.
Good morning, Shaun. How are you?
I'm really good. Are you good at home?
I hope so.
Yes, hope so. It's a beautiful day out there, isn't it?
It is glorious,
Oh,
isn't
it's
it?
stunning, absolutely stunning. And we've got the most amazing show for you over the next 3 hours. Lots of brand new deals.
Yeah, loads of brand new deals, some firm favourites. We've even got the bark mulch on today. That's the first time we brought that in.
Quite new, quite a mixed lineup actually, and some incredible prices, as you'd expect, and lots of beautiful bulbs as well. I was thinking today, I was walking around the garden, I thought, God, only a couple more days and it is September.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And we are going to start thinking about our spring gardens, because it's time to start doing it, isn't it?
And we've got all sorts of bulbs on there.
Oh, we got lots of them.
Some really sort of like special ones and some brilliant bargain prices as well. Now, we love it when you interact with us.
Yes, we do. Good morning, Alistair. Good morning, Elaine. I can see that you are in the YouTube chat right now.
Yes.
I'm not letting you have the iPad.
No.
It's mine.
Bex doesn't let me. The only time I get hold of this is when I'm with Adam, because he hates it. I don't mind.
I know you don't mind.
But we would love to see your pictures. We'd love to have your comments as well. Right, if you are brand new to the show, some things that you really need to know. There's a special offer code on the screen, YGTV3524. What that does, it unlocks all of these special promotions, and you could save literally, I was going to say hundreds of pounds, potentially could, but over a few shows you can definitely save hundreds of pounds. You need to put that offer code into your basket before you check out every single time. We've got a free gift as well.
Yes. It's a fantastic free gift.
Let me just model this for you.
Well, so this is our green grow bag, but it's also a garden tidy, isn't it? Because, Shaun uses it for his shopping, but you can use it for whatever you want. It's really well reinforced, really well stitched. The handles are not going to break off. I've grown potatoes in here. You can use it for growing things. It could be a temporary home for some plants that you're not quite sure what to do with, but so many other uses.
Yeah, and they last years. So yes, it technically is a grow bag, as Beck said, potatoes, raspberries, tomatoes, you name it, but it is brilliant for garden tidying, and also use it for my shopping. I do heavy things like, cat litter, cat food, bottles.
You've got a wood burner, haven't you, in your house?
I have.
So you must have a log store outside somewhere.
I do.
You could use this for transporting your logs in and out of the house, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. You get a lot in there as well. So they just put it, they last for years. They're free with every single order. And if you do place several orders, you get several free gifts as well. Now, postage-wise, we cap the postage at £6.99 per order. And that, even things like big things like the hanging baskets, £6.99 per order. But what was the average spend last week, Stu? I think it was
44, 42, something like that, basically. You knew what you were doing, quite frankly.
It was just over £40, because most people do manage to get their order to just over £40, and then postage is absolutely free. So it does make sense to do that.
It absolutely does, yeah.
Really
Get
does.
rid of that £6.99 postage. We've got a few deals actually on the show that will help you to get over that £30 mark. We've got a few sort of lower price, £40 mark. We've got a few of those just lower priced items that will just help you to tip over the edge there.
But don't worry, if you can't spend £40 with us today, we appreciate it's not possible maybe every week. We do cap the postage at £6.99 per order as well. Right, where should we begin? I was going to say I'm feeling.
We've got to go to the favourites table.
Mind
your head, don't knock your head
on.
Oh
yes, we've got hanging baskets coming up as well.
They're coming.
But I was thinking today, I was planning, some of you know that me and my half have got a pub, and I was planning the pub garden in my head this morning. And I think I'm going to go for purples and whites this year.
It's a beautiful colour combination.
It really is, because I've got lots. The pub garden is really bright at the moment. It's got really hot colours. It's all kind of yellows and reds and oranges. So I'm thinking a complete change for winter. And the Pansy Cool Wave collection. You have got some yellows in here, but you've got some lovely kind of mauves and purples and whites. So I just think this is beautiful. We do a berries and cream one, which is kind of all purple and white. But I like this because there's just a little bit of yellow in there as well.
Yeah.
But a lovely colour palette. That is gorgeous, don't you think?
It's a gorgeous colour palette, absolutely. And the beautiful thing about Pansy Cool Wave is that this is your winter, autumn flowering, but it doesn't just stop there. These can flower for up to 10 months of the year. They only really give up in the hottest months over the summertime. So up to 10 months of flowers. And look how many flowers you're getting on here as well. There are thousands of them.
And I've actually, Bex is completely right. They do normally die down in the hottest months, but I've got some of these in a slightly shady area at the pub, and they've never given up. They've still flowered.
Still flowered, yeah. We love some of those out of season flowers. perennials, don't we?
So we do say they flower up to 10 months of the year, and they gently cascade and tumble. These are garden ready. It's a buy one, get one free, so you're going to get 20 of these amazing plants. And I don't know about you, Bex, but some of my summer pots are just beginning to slightly go over.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got loads of pots with lilies in. Obviously, they've gone over a while ago now. So I'm thinking about taking the bulbs out of those, planting them into my borders. And then I've got those pots free to be able to do some stuff with over the autumn and winter. And these are fantastic. Of course, they work beautifully in hanging baskets, as you can see from the picture, as you can see from the ones we've got hanging up in the potting shed. But they work great in pots and things as well, don't they? Because they tumble. They cascade over the edges.
Yeah, and they really, really do produce probably thousands of flowers over their lifetime. And I know that basket looks good right now, but that actually is only going to get better.
Yeah, so they tumble. I mean, we don't say trailing particularly, but cascading, and they'll reach probably maybe 30, even 40 centimetres. So if you look at that basket, you can see the rattan around the edges. That's what it's going to look like. It will actually start to make a beautiful ball of colour.
Yeah, and easy to grow. I mean, do feed them during the winter months, even though they don't need as much feed as summer bedding. Do feed them. Every month I'd give them a feed over winter, but they will flower all through autumn, winter, spring, and into summer as well. And you are going to get 20 plants for $14.99 today. They are, I think, they're the best performing pansy that I know.
They're brilliant, absolutely, and they are a popular one for us every single year. These are really one of the best when it comes to your autumn and winter bedding. That's the pack of 10, but obviously using that code YGTV3 3524 this week, that will get you another pack put into your basket absolutely free.
And you say you may want to do all of your winter bedding with those pansies, because they do look great on mass. They really do. Right, we're going to move on to an evergreen shrub collection. I was just thinking, actually, if you are beginning thinking about making up autumn and winter hanging baskets, I like to put something in the centre sometimes, or if you're doing a pot, a little shrub in the centre, then your pansy cool wave around the edge. And we have got a fantastic collection, an evergreen shrub collection. All 6 of these, some great foliage there.
Yeah, some really good foliage. Now, we can't guarantee exactly which varieties you're going to get, but what we put out is a pretty good representation of what you might receive in your box.
They will all be evergreen, though, so nothing deciduous.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a Photinia in here, we've got a Choicea in here. I've completely forgotten what this one's called. That one is, it's the Escalonia.
Oh, it is, yes. Yeah, it's because it wasn't flowering.
That one's going to have that beautiful yellow, pink flowers on there.
I know you're not mad on Unanimous, but that's Unanimous. It's a really pretty one.
I know.
That's a really nice one.
Regulars will know Unanimous is not my favourite plant, but it has its place in planting schemes. Adam is always he tells me off for it all the time because he's like, it works brilliantly, and there's so many beautiful varieties.
A little viburnum there, rosemary at the front, but it will be, that's not necessarily exactly what you get, but it gives you a good indication. But you are going to get 6 evergreen shrubs. Many of them will flower. Many of them will grow to far larger shrubs, and they'll all grow larger, but they will arrive in 9 cm pots. And I just think, so when you are planting up for autumn and winter, just have something in the centre of a pot or container. Really works.
I mean, absolutely. You could put this in the centre of a pot or a container. Obviously, it's got the potential to grow into a massive, great big shrub, but it's not going to do that over the winter. No. So it would be a temporary home, providing that gorgeous foliage with the colour of the flowers around, and then it's ready for you to plant out in springtime next year if you want to.
Yeah, and a gorgeous collection there. Lots of different coloured foliage, lots of variety, and amazing value. We think you're going to get 6 of those.
Yeah, I love it.
At $14.99, that is working out around about £2. I would say $2.33.
I'm leaving you to it.
Go on, Stu, check that for me. $2.33.
I'm not good at maths.
I think that's $2.33.
Some people at home are shouting at the screen.
No,
right now,
maybe a little bit more actually. No, it's. I think it is.
Isn't it £2.50 each?
Yeah, well done, Bex. I was close.
It's less if you're in the club, obviously.
Yes, exactly.
There you go.
But amazing value. And so we sell all of these as big, bigger specimens in 1, 2, 3 litre, 5 litre pots. But to get them at this size is really great value. They're all fully winter hardy.
I love rosemary as well. I've got a gorgeous rosemary bush growing in my garden. And of course, this is useful as well. Oh, I love the smell. Because you can go out, you can cut sprigs off this. Be great for all your roasts over the autumn and winter. And of course, it produces those lovely purple flowers as well.
Yes, it does.
Really drought tolerant, really easy to look after. I cannot walk past a rosemary without doing this. Oh, the scent you get from that is glorious.
And they do grow into beautiful shrubs, actually.
They do. Really easy to contain as well.
Yeah.
Like those.
Drought tolerant when established as well. But that gives you a little idea of what you will get. But we are going to move on now to a stunning deal. Now, we think this is one of the best deals ever, but it is the deal of the week today. It is half price, and it is the most stunning choice here. Even at $14.99, amazing, but $7.49 today, so it's actually half price. When I think of choices, the first thing I think of is fragrance.
Yes, so it's also known as the Mexican orange blossom, isn't it? Because when this gets covered in that beautiful blossom, and it does get completely covered, doesn't it? The fragrance that comes off there is incredible. And it's nice and early, so we're talking sort of around April time. I remember mine was absolutely smothered in those flowers. And the scent that was coming off it was fantastic. And of course, that means it's great for those sort of early pollinators as well. You know, those springtime pollinators, once they wake up and they start coming out, they will have a field day with this choice here.
And looking at the size of this in the 2 litre pot, really well established. $7.49 is an amazing price. And what I like about choices, they actually look really nice in the winter time.
They do. I mean, the leaves are nice and glossy and green now, aren't they? But you do get a bit of a colour change going on. They go to a nice sort of paler green and almost shades of yellow on the leaves too. But they do look fantastic all year round. Relatively slow growing, I think. So they don't take over, they don't bully. But mine's, you know, it's almost my height actually. It's probably up to my shoulders at the moment.
So you've had it quite a long time?
I've had it a while. In fact, it was in the garden before I moved in, so it's definitely 10 years old. But I just trim it into a nice shape. It doesn't require much attention. It's drought tolerant, so it's not one that I, you know, particularly pay any attention to when I'm going around and watering. It's nice and easy, but looks good all year round.
But when they flower, I mean, honestly, that fragrance
it's gorgeous.
It is.
It really
One of my friends in the village has got an amazing choice here, and again, it's been there years. And I remember going in springtime, and the blossom just smelled divine.
It is.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
Like, it really is amazing.
It's one actually that if you'd like to do your sort of indoor displays, you know, because I do love these foliage displays that you can do. But obviously, when this has got flowers on, you can cut stems off that, and it can be part of your indoor displays. And that fragrance, bringing it into your home, is gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, that is the deal of the week. I do like these deals of the week, Bex, don't you?
I know, I do
too. And that is only...
Glad we've introduced those.
Yeah. Last few weeks, and we've had really busy shows, actually. So if you want to take advantage of this week's deal of the week, then that is only £7.49. Club members, £6.74. And we've got to mention the club. If you're not a club member, you can join today for £5 for the entire year on auto renewal, and you'll save 10% off all of the plants, the compost, the pots, and you'll save 10% every single time that you order. You'll also receive £20 worth of vouchers that you can spend as well against any orders that you are placing. They come in 4 vouchers of 5, so you can put each voucher towards an individual shop and save £20 in the next year as well. So really good to join the club.
It's amazing.
Has your renewal gone through?
It should go through this week, actually.
It should go through tomorrow.
Yeah, it is. It's tomorrow.
It's
1 year tomorrow since I did my first show on YGTV in the potting shed. So yeah, it should come through very soon. So
yes. Do join the club today, and you will save an extra 10% off everything.
Oh.
Yeah, but you don't have to go for auto renewal. You can cancel at any time, but it does. You save more money. It's only £5.
I mean, even if you only shop maybe 2 or 3 times in a year on gardening items, it will pay for itself, and you will save money. So it's definitely worth it. Oh, I'm hearing we're getting new club members this morning already.
Yes, welcome to our new club members.
Welcome.
Live this Thursday morning. Right, we're going to move on now to the cutest Dixonia. Bex and I ordered these last week. This is only $4.99 or $4.49 for club members, and it is the Dixonia Antarctica. And I think so many people aspire to owning a tree fern. But the big ones, like the one you're seeing in the picture, we sell those on the nursery, and they are £275.
Oh, look at that.
Now that display there would probably cost about £4,000.
For one. For one.
No, but they can cost hundreds, if not thousands of pounds. But we have got a wonderful small one here for just $4.99. And it is small, we're not going to lie, it's not massive, it's a 9-cent sweet spot. But you bought it a couple of years ago, didn't you?
Yeah, so it's about 2 years, but that was it after about a year. So I got it at the size of the one in the potting shed. And after a year, that is what it grew into. That's about a 40 centimetre diameter pot. So it's a big pot I put it into. And that's what it grew into. And then I took this picture, the next one, about a week ago, and this is what it's turned into in another year.
See, that, I must admit, that has grown faster than I would have thought.
It's done pretty well, hasn't it? You know, and actually I've done everything wrong. Because I put it in a terracotta pot, first of all, which terracotta pots have their place, but actually, you know, these like moist soil, and terracotta will leach the moisture out. So I put it in a terracotta pot, mistake number one. And please don't do this, but I didn't protect mine over the winter, and it's still doing brilliantly. They do need a bit of protection over winter. But just to show you the quality of the plants that we do bring you here at YGTV.
Yeah, they are amazing. And I just think there's something, when you look at Dixonia, there is something magical. You think how old these are.
This is why I love ferns.
Yeah.
And because they make you feel like you've been transported back in time. And I'm not just talking 20 or 30 years, I'm talking millions of years. You feel like you're walking with the dinosaurs.
I was going to say, you could almost imagine a dinosaur munching on that one, couldn't you? Now, they do need protection during the winter months, particularly when they're this young.
Yeah.
So I put mine's in a pot and I just put it in the greenhouse. If it's really cold, I will put a fleece over it just to protect the crown, so do bear that in mind.
That's where the new growth comes from. So it's the crown that needs protecting, that centre part, because that's where the new growth comes from. So if it gets frosty in there, it is going to damage the plant. So yeah, do bear that in mind.
And what I love about this is the fact that they are relatively slow growing, so it will take many years to actually have a fern looking like this, but it's something that you can pass down through the family, through generations. You know, maybe you're going to give this to your kids and they'll pass it on to their grandkids, but it could be in your family for many, many decades.
It absolutely could. It's a very long-lived plant.
Yes.
So at $4.99, if you think the amount of years that you will have that is a great price.
I know whenever anybody comes around to see my garden, they always comment on the tree fern, and most people want a tree fern.
Yeah.
They do. So it's your chance of getting one this morning for just £4.99, or £4.49 if you're in the club. I actually bought 3 of them, so I've got 3 now. Well, they haven't arrived quite yet because I only ordered them a few days ago, but I'm going to put them around the big one and then just have a little display. Then we are going to move on. Now, I know you're quite a good cook, aren't you?
I do like it, yeah. I like it. I made a great tagine this week.
Did you bring it in to try?
Sorry, I had it. I ate it yesterday, but it's good.
I love a tagine.
Tagine
Did you put a few bay leaves in?
I did put bay leaves in, and did you know what? I picked those from my own bay bush in my garden because I adore cooking, and bay is one of those things that you use a lot in your cooking. Stews, soups, tagines, chilies, bologneses. You know, you use bay quite a lot, and there is nothing more satisfying than cooking with something that you've grown in your own garden.
And I was thinking, yes, you've got the beautiful smell of bay leaves, you've got all the culinary benefits, but actually they are a really attractive shrub in their own right. You know, you look at these, they just look beautiful. They look good all year round. And I was thinking, I don't know about you, Bex, but I think there's something quite sophisticated about a bay tree.
Well, yeah, because you can let it go wild, you can let it grow and be as wild as you want, but you can actually sort of topiary this as well.
Yes,
so
you
can
can.
get a really neat looking bush from this too. It does look great all year round. It does actually produce these lovely little sort of flowers on it during the summer months as well. Sort of, well, summer I say, it's more springtime, sort of April, May into June time. Wildlife love those. They're great for pollinators, but it is about that evergreen foliage, I think, more than anything. That's why we adore them.
We often do forget these flowers, though, don't we? But because the flowers are not like massively significant, but it has got the perfect for pollinators, doesn't it?
Perfect for pollinators, and it's actually got the RHS Award of Garden Merit as well.
So an award winner and only $7.99. So that's a really good price, actually. Bay trees can be quite expensive.
They can.
Yeah.
And do you know what? They do grow. I don't want to say the word vigorous because that can be off-putting, but they do have a fairly rapid growth. So if you want something to fill a space quite quickly, then bay bush can do that for you.
Yeah. Or if you put it in a pot, obviously that will contain it.
Mine's in a pot and it's right near the back door, which makes it really handy for when it's raining outside and I just want to go and grab a couple of bay leaves for my cooking. I can run out and get it.
I just love
Unlike the rosemary, which I use very regularly, which is literally as far away from the kitchen door as it can possibly be.
See, my herbs are outside outside the greenhouse, right at the side of the garden.
Yeah.
It's just
it's so silly.
It is. So when I'm cooking it, it's like pouring down with rain. I'm like,
got to run across the garden.
Yeah.
So I've got rosemary and thyme and bay, which are 3 most used herbs, I think. The rosemary and the thyme are as far away from the door as they can be, but I'll put the bay right next to it.
Well, that's if you'd like to have your own bay tree there, it's only £7.99, saving there a couple of pounds off the LRP, which is actually really good, and just £7.19 for, of course, club members. Right, we're just going to go back to the deal of the week. I thought we were going to have a little jingle for deal of the week.
I know, he's working on it.
Yeah, it's the deal of the week.
We won't get Shaun to do the vocals.
That was terrible, actually, wasn't it? Don't you ever go then?
No. I've done a can this morning, so
That's
no,
true.
I'm not.
But it is the deal of the week. We are going to get a jingle at some point. What's it going to sound like, do you think?
It'll probably sound like some death metal, knowing Stu.
She was just saying it. Deal of the week. Anyway.
That was better.
Thanks. It is the choice here. Deal of the week. I'm not going to do that again. Everyone's turning the TVs down.
Everyone's
right
switched
now.
off now. We're going to have to build our audience back up.
We are. But it is the deal of the week. It is 5:30. It is this absolutely gorgeous choice here.
Yeah, look at the size.
I know, it's really
$6.74
good.
if you're in the club. Look at the size of that pot. I mean, we're not talking about a 9-centimetre pot here. We are talking about, what size is it? It's a 2-litre pot.
Litre.
It is a big one. So this is really nicely established already. And of course, you're getting it just at the right time to get this planted. And you will still be able to enjoy some of that gorgeous blossom on it in the springtime.
Yeah, and remember, it's often called a mock orange because it does have this lovely, beautiful scent.
Yeah, it's a nice sweet orange scent to it,
amazing.
citrusy scent.
It really is. And that is only £7.49. And, you were saying, Bex, it's a neat grower. It doesn't sprawl. I mean, I was looking at some things in my garden this morning and the buddleia looks shocking. It does. It's flowered now and now it's just like... I'll be honest, my lavatiera looks a bit messy. It's kind of gone over.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've been wonderful, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's nice to have things that look neat all year round, and that pretty much does.
That definitely fills that brief.
Yeah, absolutely stunning. 7.49 is the deal of the week. Sorry. But we are going to go back to the...
we didn't do the pro plugs.
Oh,
do we not have the pros?
No, we do. Well, they're on the website. They're on the website.
Ignore that one.
But it's a buy one get one free. Shall I go and get the other one back?
Yeah, why not? I'll tell you about it. So you do get 10 garden-ready plants. So those are the pods that they come in. Garden-ready means that these have just been grown on that little bit further. So they're slightly larger plug plants. It means that they are garden-ready. They're ready for you to plant out in your baskets and your pots or wherever it is. But if you use that code, YGTV3524, we will put another pack of 10 into your basket. So you'll get 20 in total, but 10 of them will be absolutely free.
God. Sadly, I couldn't get the other one, Bex.
Oh.
No.
Never mind.
No. Somebody's run off with it.
Never mind.
But you will get 2.
Them.
Yes, good to say. You will get the free one. Do not worry. But they are... I've grown pansy coolware for many, many years, and they are the best performing pansy. And I have done trials. I've sometimes mixed other pansies with Pansy Cool Wave in hanging baskets, and the Pansy Cool Wave always seem to outperform. They just flower and flower and flower. They cascade. You can get thousands of flowers potentially over the season, and that is a lovely colour palette, isn't it?
Totally, totally. And of course, with them being autumn and winter flowering, it means that they are winter hardy as well, so you don't need to worry about those. They are ridiculously tolerant of cold weather.
They really are. But -20?
About -20.
Yeah. Let's hope it's not as cold as that.
Fingers crossed, I don't want that.
409.67. Buy one, get one absolutely free.
Should we do some baskets?
Now, you might be thinking, I don't have time to make up winter hanging baskets. Maybe you're just not very good at making up hanging baskets. Maybe you've not had success in the past. Well, we here at YouGarden have done all the work for you. We have pre-planted 2 baskets in this gorgeous rattan for $29.99. Now, when you look at both of those for $29.99, that is incredible, isn't it?
It really is incredible. Stu's just saying in my ear, we did some filming yesterday for the catalogue.
Go on.
And I know our prices are way better. You need to shop through YGTV because these are way better pricing.
I mean, if you are a club member as well, you get these for $26.99. That works out $13.50 a basket. I wonder how much you paid just for the empty basket.
Yeah. And of course that basket can be reused.
Yeah, of course.
This is the beautiful thing about it. I mean, you can just keep them with the pansy cool waves in, put them somewhere nice and cool during the, just sort of shady and a bit cool during the hot months. Trim them back, give them a feed, they will come back for you next year. But you could empty them and reuse them for something else. I'm going to put this one down because it's quite heavy.
Right. Yeah, well, now postage is $6.99. But do you know what I'd do? If you spend another £10 and a few pence with us, you'd actually get free delivery. So pretty much, one or two other items on the show, and then you would get free delivery. But I made up last year about 35, 40 hanging baskets. I'll be honest, I was sick to death of
bored of it by the end.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And with our hanging baskets, because these are grown at the YouGarden nursery, they are going to be absolutely exceptional. You're going to get premium quality. And all you need to do with these throughout the winter, just keep deadheading. So any, that one's gone over there. So any flowers that have gone over, I do this every time. But just deadhead them.
Well, at least you're not eating them this time.
No, you could do that.
You always eat the violas, don't you? He's munching on a flower.
They're pansies are edible.
They are.
They just taste like salad, like lettuce, really. I mean, you wouldn't. I don't think you'd order a plate of them, would you?
No. They're a nice decoration on food if you want to.
I'll have a plate of pansies.
All right, stop deadheading.
But and do give them a feed, even in the winter months with your blooming fast. About once a month, do give them a feed just to keep them going. But they will flower for, we say, 10 months of the year. That is amazing value there. And I think what a lovely gift as well if you've got somebody in your family.
Nice idea.
Yeah, why
totally.
not? My mum would love those.
Yeah, and they do come with the triple hanging. They're galvanised as well, so they're really tough. They're really strong and sturdy, and they do come sort of wrapped with a plastic wrap around them. So you just got to cut that off, and then all you have to do when you get them home is hang them, water them, and enjoy them.
Yeah, and this looks nice today, but this is only really the start of its journey. It will just get bigger and bigger and fuller and fuller.
I love them. And if you can get that free postage, they're weighty. There's a lot of weight on there. So to get them with that free postage, that would be incredible. Yeah, just get your order to over that £40.
And we are only looking at £15 a basket. Club members, £13.50. Now, I was thinking earlier today, as I walked around my garden this morning, you always do that as well, don't you?
Yeah, I like a little wander in the morning.
Yeah. I always do. Get my first cup of coffee and wander around the garden. When I looked shocking, but the garden looked quite nice. But I was thinking about plants that I really would recommend to everybody, and the Nandina has got to be one of those. Yeah. Because it is such a proven performer, and unlike me, and I say, some days I look okay, some days I look dreadful, like most of us, but the Nandina looks good every single day of the year.
Every day of the year.
If I was a plant, I would want to be you.
Yeah.
And it really, really does. I'm going to give you the details because we've got an amazing offer on the Nandinas today. And this one is the Firepower. So it's $14.99 for one, but if you double up today, you're going to get two for $19.98. So it's $4.99 for a second one, basically. And this Nandina, first of all, it is evergreen, so it never loses its leaves. So it's not, don't think, it gets to winter and it's just going to be a little pile of twigs. It is completely evergreen, but it constantly changes colour. Look at the new growth on here. That is beautiful, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
Isn't it?
So you get these lovely different colours, don't you? And it tends to change colour with the changing temperatures. Yeah. So during the summer months where it's really nice and warm, you get lush greens
so
and
that's
almost
what it looks
yellow
like in
tinges
August.
on it as well.
Beautiful. But I hate to say it, September's on its way. And when it gets really cold in the winter, that is a colour that it becomes.
Yeah,
and it's stunning.
So you get the mixture of leaf colour on there. So you get some greens, you get some tinges of yellow, but you get some bronzes and reds. And then as it gets colder, it gets even more bronzy and red. It's a fantastic one. It's super easy to look after, ridiculously tolerant of temperatures as well, both plus and minus. It can go down to like -20, -25, and up to +40. It really doesn't mind.
And when you think about this, a plant that looks good every single day of the year. You also get the flowers and the berries, of course, as well.
Yes. Yeah, I always forget about that.
I know, yeah. Well, you know, the foliage is wonderful, but you do get the little white flowers, followed by the berries as well.
Yeah.
So there's always interest with this one, and it doesn't go too big.
No, it only gets to a couple of feet, basically, about sort of 50 or 60 centimetres height and spread here. So I've got mine in a pot, and that's where it's going to stay, to be honest with you. But it looks great in a border, but you'd probably go sort of, you know, mid to front of border if that's what you're going to do with it. And
I know I've said this a lot on YouGarden TV, but if you've got a smaller garden, it's really important that every plant earns its place. I've got a big garden, but even now, I was looking at I've got like my peonies flowered for about 2 weeks, and then they got really soaked and they just went to mush. And I've been stuck with the peony leaves now for months.
Yeah.
And I must admit, sometimes I look and think, you're taking up a lot of room for just leaves.
Yeah.
And I had a few, don't get me wrong, I love peonies, but I only had a few weeks of magnificent peonies, and now I've been just stuck with leaves that are not particularly attractive. So if you've got a smaller garden, you really want every plant to look as good as it can for as long as possible, and that's what the Nandina does. It always looks good, it's evergreen, it's constantly changing, you do get the flowers, you do get the berries. Some people call Nandina sacred bamboo, that's a nickname, but it's nothing like a bamboo, it's not invasive,
no.
But it does have that lovely sound of a bamboo, so when it rains and things, you get that gorgeous sound. It's got that look and feel, but it is just such an attractive plant. And you imagine just putting those in a couple of really nice containers, you've instantly got a fabulous display.
Yeah, I love the fact that we've got this double up deal here, because obviously you regulars, you'll have heard us talking, and me in particular. I do love that pairing, I love that symmetry.
Yeah.
I know we plant in odd numbers a lot, but this is great if you want to do that either side. You want to mirror on either side of something. And perhaps it's either side of the front door, perhaps it's either side of the back door. Just, I love that you've got the option of that double of that double up deal. So yeah, it is only £5 for the second one. So if you put the second one in your basket and use the code YGTV3524, you're paying just £5 for that second one. And for the beauty that you get from this plant for such a long time, it's definitely worth considering putting a second one in your basket. Even if you don't want it, get that second one and give it to somebody as a gift. That would be a great gift for someone.
Right, which are the best plants of these, do you reckon?
Those black ones are nice, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
I think let's do those black ones.
Yeah. So, these are the helixes, but I think in this dark, it's like a charcoaly colour. And I think that was absolutely fantastic.
This is the 13-inch one, so that's the slightly
just over
larger one. I think that's a perfect size, actually. I think the 10-inch would be a little bit too small, personally.
I'll be honest, if you put them in the smaller one, it's pretty much in that size already.
Yeah, no, it's too small.
Yeah. You'd have to repot pretty much in the next year, but those look amazing.
And is it all of our pots today? All the helix pots are on a buy one, get one free deal. So we've got the 13-inch diameter, we've got the 10-inch diameter, and we've got 3 different colours. Is that right?
We have.
Clay, the black bronze, and the silver. This is the silver we've got here, yeah.
That really works, doesn't it?
I love that.
And imagine when this gets even more red in the winter time. That is going to look so striking.
I think I've got mine in the pine cone planter, which is still that black colour with the kind of brushed gold to it, and it is perfect. So these are a great one to go for.
Yeah, and they are said buy one get them free.
Oh,
so
that looks so good.
That looks really good, doesn't it?
I love that.
Yay! Instant. That really works. And if I just show it like
that's kind of blown me away a little bit. I love that. Maybe I need some more Nandinas.
I've got 5.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen one of the videos you did with Stu when he came to your house.
Yeah,
I think you've got one that's a bit hidden, haven't you? It needs moving.
It does, yeah. Remarkably, one of mine, it has got kind of swamped by the plants around it, so it's not getting a lot of light, but you know, it's still doing
all right. See, I'm looking forward to we're coming up to the time of year when we can actually start looking at because it always happens every year, doesn't it? You look at it and go, that needs moving, that needs moving, that needs moving, and we're getting to that period of time where we can actually start moving plants around.
What I'm doing is I'm taking lots of videos of my garden just because sometimes when things die down, herbaceous things, you forget where they are.
Yeah.
So I'm taking some videos so I know if I don't move everything in the autumn time, just so I know what to move in the spring as well. But yeah, that's amazing. If you want the helix in the silver, it's a buy one get one free. just £11.99, and they look stunning with the Nandinas there as well.
They do.
If you want to have a look at everything coming up, our website obviously has got all the products. Go to YouGarden.com and, of course, click on the TV live. And the pots are all at the bottom. So there's the Helix. So there's lots of different colours and different sizes, but they're all buy one get one free if you use the special promotion code.
I like that, because you can get multiples of the same pattern but different colours.
Yeah.
That'll look
that
really nice all together, won't it?
I've got to try it in one of
go
the
for
colours. It still looks nice, but it just gives it a very different look.
I love a terracotta look. That colour, I'm calling it padded clay, but yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then we've got the golden coloured one, haven't we, as well? Stu's struggling because they're all called Helix.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I quite like that golden colour.
Do you know what I'm going to do?
This one's silver, but Shaun's just getting the golden one.
Yeah, just so you can see, because it's not probably that obvious. Can you see that's like got the bronzy, so that's got like a bronzish sheen to it. And then Bex has got, say, that kind of silver colour, and then that's the terracotta in the centre. So they're all on our website, and there's subtle differences, but actually I think you could mix and match those.
Yeah, I mean, it's subtle, but it is a beautiful colour. I love them. I think they're really good. And the fact that we've got those on that buy one, get one free today is just absolutely incredible. We're going to move on, though. Let's move on. Let's get rid of the Nandina. We've got a double-up deal on those, but we've also got a double-up deal on one of your favourites.
Oh, I love this one.
Keep those out. Let's have those.
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to go with the black ones. Oh, no, I'm going to go with that one.
No, I was going to say,
yeah.
To get the contrast.
Let's get the contrast with that beautiful dark-coloured foliage of the Laura Petalum, and then the Helix planter. Yeah, we're not going to put that in a black pot, are we? Because we definitely want that contrast.
Now, this is one of my personal favourites in my garden.
There's flowers on here. There shouldn't be flowers now, should there?
Do you know what? Mine have flowered randomly all summer long. They're not supposed to really flower right now, but honestly, they've definitely had flowers on and off all through the year.
Really?
Well, all through the summer.
Wow.
Yeah, in fact, Stu, who, as you know, is in charge of our technical team here. Well, he is the technical team. He filmed in my garden a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, he saw some of them were in flower. Not covered, but they've definitely had flowers pop up now and again throughout the summer months. But it is one of the most striking plants in the garden that you very rarely see in the garden centres. I don't know why. You
often say a lot of people, when they come round to your garden, that's one that they're drawn to. Yeah. That's the one that they look at. And it's maybe because it is quite unusual, because you don't see it.
Like Bex, when you came with Jenny to talk at our garden club,
yes,
didn't you have the Lord Batalon with you then, or was it the year before?
No, it was. It
was, wasn't
it? And everybody at the garden club was fascinated by that plant.
Yeah.
Out of all of the plants, and we did. We took, I don't know, was it 20 or 30 plants? 25. This was the one that they were blown away with. Yeah. So honestly, and the garden club that I run, there's a lot of experienced gardeners. Obviously, not everyone's experienced, but you're right. Most of them didn't know this. They all wanted one. They all wrote down the item number 510604, because first of all, the foliage is lovely. It's this lovely deep dark. Almost black.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost black.
And then when it flowers, you get the most incredible, I call them fireworks, I think you call them ribbons, but they are really pretty. And this is said, you've got a few flowers on here right now, that against the foliage looks absolutely incredible.
And it doesn't need to be in the sunniest position.
No,
in fact, it's probably better being in a more, not full shade, but certainly a slightly more shady position, something that doesn't get full sun all day long.
Mine are in sort of like dappled.
Yeah.
They are relatively slow growing. I love the way that they naturally grow, because they kind of, I call them like a meandering plant, so they kind of gently grow up and out in like little waves.
Yeah, so it's not thick, dense foliage, is it? It's got a really nice sort of almost weeping habit to it, almost.
And I think they look really good amongst things like acers, grasses, ferns, that kind of thing. They are They are evergreen. One thing I will say, I did once plant mine in a bit of an exposed area in my garden.
Didn't like it, no.
No, they survived, but they looked a bit worse for wear. So I think a bit like an AC, you want it slightly sheltered, not against strong winds or anything like that. But they are classed as winter hardy, and they are beautiful.
The Lauropetalum is one that I've got in my garden that I am planning on moving. Yeah, I got one. It was a rescue. It was a rescue off the trolley. Right. But yeah, I've planted it it's in slightly too much shade, so that's one that I'm actually looking forward to moving. I think I'm going to put it in a pot for a little while. So yeah, that's one of my plan of things to move once we get into September and October.
But I would highly recommend those. They really are special. They really are beautiful. Don't grow too big. I mean, I've had mine about 3 years, and they're still probably in about. They're probably going to about twice that size.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Yeah, lovely.
Good size.
But anyway. That is a double up dip 2 for 19.98 today.
Amazing.
Right, how's the group chat then, Bex?
It's busy. There's loads of people in here. I think there's a few questions being asked as well. So, Mandy, Elaine, George, Neil, Angela. Over on Facebook, we've got Amanda. She's been propagating her rosemary. Love that. My rosemary came from one that my dad took a cutting of his plant from, actually, which I quite like.
I've never propagated rosemary.
Dan Bancroft's in the Facebook chat. He's calling us the dream team.
Oh, thank you, Dan.
Morning, Dan. Hope you're well. Dingo sent some photos, so we'll get onto the emails as well in a second. Let me just have a little look at, because I'm sure there were some questions being asked. Mandy, I'm glad you're recovering. You did spend yesterday in A&E though, but I'm hoping you're going to be okay. Bless you, you've had a little setback. Right, let me get to the questions. How big do Choicea grow, says Elaine. So that Choicea, we're talking, I mean, mine, and I'm sure it's the same variety, mine's going about to shoulder height. I was going to
say about 1 metre to 1.5 metres.
But that's an old one.
Yeah.
That was in my garden before I moved in there, and we've been living there for 10 years, so it's going to take a while to get there.
Yeah, they're relatively slow growing Choiceas.
Yeah. Neil's saying, Shaun, I ordered the Cool Wave Pro plugs after the Sunday show.
Hey,
well done
Neil,
to
I am really pleased, Neil. This time of year they're going to grow so quickly, and you're going to save a fortune, and you have 60. So well done, Neil.
Elaine's getting her fleece ready, not her coat fleece. The fleece.
You had to say it's warm outside today. We don't need a fleece on yet.
Fleece for the plants. That was it. Elaine was saying she's the same, just leaves on the peonies now. Annoying.
Yeah, Elaine. I mean, I love peonies, but. I'm sort of like, I'm bored of seeing those leaves now. I want it to flower again, but it won't, obviously. Mandy
says she loves the look of them in that black silver, so I'm sure she was talking about the Nandina in that black silver.
I thought they looked good.
Mandy's also saying, I love the darker foliage plants. I wanted to create a goth garden. I love that. There's somebody on Instagram who does the goth garden. It's amazing. I wanted to create a goth garden on my balcony, but a lot of the plants needed to do that were annuals, and as a beginner, I wanted easier, low-maintenance perennials. I understand. Yeah, absolutely. But I have got some black grasses and some black Atlas pansies coming in a few weeks. That sounds amazing. Yeah, apparently if you follow us on TikTok, there's an affiliate we work with who does an entirely black garden. I like the idea of that. That sounds amazing. Right, I think I've got everything. I don't think I missed any questions.
I don't know what I love about gardening is we all love different things, and I always think there's no rules. Don't ever let somebody say, don't plant that in your garden. That's not
No.
So black garden, yes.
Love it. Why not?
Yeah, could look great.
Right. Dingo, let's have a look at your pictures. Morning, Bex and Shaun. Some pics of my fire lily. Yes. And agapanthus in bloom. Cheers, Dingo.
Just to let you in on this, Bex's agapanthus has never flowered.
Never.
And
they're easy. I don't know why I can't make it happen. I did the flame lily, though, and I made my flame lily grow. And all 3 of them grew. I'm not getting any flowers at the minute, though. I think I probably I should have fed it a bit more. But that's looking amazing, Dingo. Stu reckons the only reason it's flowering is because you've got it in the pub. I mean, it's all about the location, isn't it? Let's check out the agapanthus. There it is, look. Oh, my word. Look at that. I'm so jealous. Next year is my year for agapanthus. I'm telling you, next year... I'm going to get an agapanthus flower. It's going to happen.
But if you'd like to send
Stay
in
tuned.
your pictures, you can email the podcast ygtv@yougarden.com. But we love it when you send in your pictures and your comments. And any questions, of course, then we will do our very best to answer them. So you can email your pictures, your comments, or, of course, you can join the group chat on Facebook and YouTube as well.
Good morning to Roger, who is on Facebook as well. He's always in. It is you, Roger, isn't it, that comes and joins me on TikTok as well when I'm doing my lives on TikTok. I'm sure that's you as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we've really got a lovely garden community now with YouGarden TV, and it's great. And we've had a phenomenal first year and got loads of plans coming up for the next 12 months as well. But don't forget to get all of the great deals. I know we've got some new viewers today, so you have got to use the offer code YGTV3524. The free gift today, by the way, is a really good one. I mean, we had it on last week. We had some great feedback, so we've continued it for this week. And it is the heavy duty bag. Now this is actually technically a grow bag. So you've got drainage holes, so you can see that you've got drainage holes in the side there. It's really well made, so really well sewn, really, really strong. You could easily put some extra holes in if you wanted to, you know, if the weather's particularly wet, but you could grow. I mean, I once had, in my old garden, I once had 3 of these on my driveway with 3 fruit trees in. And they did really well there for many years. I did end up putting them in the ground eventually, but I actually grew mini fruit trees in here for quite a few years. But raspberries, potatoes, you might want to do your tomatoes in here, but actually just as a garden tidy bag, when you're weeding, when you're deadheading, great for moving things around as well. I actually use it for shopping, and I really do. And I do not look like the most stylish person in the supermarket, but I don't care, because when I leave the supermarket, my bag isn't going to suddenly fall to pieces. That will really hold very, very heavy shopping.
It's a great size. Actually, it's great for all sorts of things. You know, day trips out when you're going down to the beach or something or other, or you're going camping, or, you know, just transporting things around. Log storage. If you're moving your logs from outdoors to indoors for your log burners, it's great for things like that as well.
Yeah. So it is an absolutely brilliant free gift, worth $4.99, free with every single order today.
Oh, we got some beautiful roses for you next.
We have.
Let's have a little look at Designer Sunset first of all.
Do you know, I was looking at this one on our website, but to see it in real life, it is stunning, isn't it?
It's the graduation of the colours, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got yellows, you've got oranges, you've got peaches, you've got pinks, all in that one flower. And the scent on here, did you have a little sniff?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
It's a gorgeous, I mean, it's a true rose scent is what I would say from it. It's got a proper rose scent to it. It's not overly powerful, but it's a lovely... It's like Turkish Delight smell. You know, do you like Turkish Delight?
I do.
Love a Turkish Delight. It's got that proper rose Turkish Delight smell to it.
Yeah. And I think the description of this one is spot on, because when you get the most beautiful sunsets, those are the colours that you will actually see.
I know.
Amazing.
It is gorgeous, honestly. And, you know, this is testament to the roses that we bring you here at YouGarden. You know, you will know that we work with Harkness roses, and they are award winners. They've been in business for over 140 years, won 25.
Yes.
Over 25 medals now, isn't it?
Yeah,
The
25
Chelsea Flower
golds.
Show. 25 golds, and then there's various silver gilt medals included in there as well. And their breeding of roses is absolutely exceptional. And
all of their roses are bred to be repeat flowering, disease resistant, really strong roses, easy to grow. And I was very lucky. I was on the Harkness Rose stand at Chelsea, and the quality of their roses was incredible. But also, they've got so many loyal customers. And we had people coming up to the stand that have been buying Harkness roses for 50, 60 years. So they are, when it comes to breeding, they really are the very, very best.
They are. Sorry, I've just seen the next rose coming up, the Arthur Bell. I meant to send Stu some pictures and I completely forgot. I can send them to myself.
I'll tell you what, before we go on to Arthur Bell, we have got a little clip of film for you right now, just to tell you a little bit more about Harkness.
Hello, I'm Philip Harkness. I'm Managing Director of Harkness Roses. We've been growing roses since 1879. Breeding new roses is a passion, and it's one that's bitten me really hard. Rose breeding is a long-term process. From the time we start to the time we have something we can market, takes us 7 or 8 years. And all the best new ones we are introducing at Chelsea Flower Show. And we believe we were actually present at the first Chelsea Flower Show over 100 years ago. The 6 or 7 or 8 year process of breeding a new rose, it starts with cross-pollination. We have something like 30,000 unique new roses every year. We're only interested in the ones which are showing a forward development, something different, something new, something exciting. First year is the pollination, the second year is the seedling plant, third year we see that plant outside for the first time. And that's where the real testing begins. There's so much to look for: perfume, colour, flower shape, flower form, how long it flowers for. We look at all these things. We look at them for 3 years or 4 years out of doors. Our key in this process is to provide you, the gardener, with a rose plant that is really easy to grow. On our trials since 1994, we have used no fungicides. So any rose we put out onto the market has to have a good basic disease resistance. New roses have won awards in Japan, New Zealand, UK, Poland, Denmark, Holland, USA. I can go on. I started doing our Chelsea exhibit when I was 22 years old, and the first 18 years I won a gold medal doing it. Looking after roses is really easy. Think of them as people, because I want to be a happy rose that's having loads of flowers. I want to make you happy, and you just have to do a little bit to me. Treat me as you treat a person, with kindness, with love, with care, and I will respond. Roses are fantastic garden shrubs. They can live for 30 years. It depends how much love you give them.
Yeah, we're so proud to be working with Heartless Roses. Just saying to Bex in that clip film, I said, I'd love to do a whole rose garden.
Yeah, do you know what? Sean's got the space for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to, but I could do a small border, but you've got the space. You should totally do it.
Yeah, that might be one of my little big projects next year.
Oh, you could totally do a full rose garden. That would be incredible.
And again, we were talking about peonies a few moments ago, and I was moaning that mine only lasted a couple of weeks this year and it's all leaves. But when you think of roses, how many months you get of flowering?
And not a massive amount of maintenance.
No.
Of course, there's a bit of deadheading that you've got to go and do. But other than that, because they're disease resistant, I mean, any disease that they might get is easily dealt with. Mine have had a bit of black spot this year, but that's easy. Trim off some leaves, it's absolutely fine. But other than a bit of deadheading and then an annual prune, there's very little you need to do.
I mean, they really are just such good value when you think about how many years you get out of them, how many roses you'll get throughout the season, several months of gorgeous roses.
And the fragrance and the cut flowers.
Yeah.
If you did a full-on rose garden.
Oh, yeah. I'd have roses everywhere.
The amount of roses you could cut and bring into your house, that would be incredible.
And don't worry too much about pruning. I think people overcomplicate pruning. We always say just prune them back early spring.
They send out shoots. You're fine.
Just use really good sharp secateurs and just make sure if there's any branches crossing over, dead disease ones. But they really, particularly Heartless ones, because they are so well bred. And the value that you get as well, I mean, that is half price for the Rose Designer Sunset. Incredible.
I love the colours.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a gorgeous rose. So yes, very tempted to that myself. Now, one that you've got in your garden. Have you found the picture?
Yeah,
yes.
I've got loads of them, but this is one of my absolute favourites. It's because it's my first rose. Okay, so it's the first rose I planted, so it's always going to have a special place in my heart. I absolutely adore Arthur Bell. I love the yellow colour, but what I really enjoy about this, first of all, I mean, you've got a bud opening here, so I really love the colour that you get from the buds. The buds are really intense. They almost look like. Do you know the flame emoji? I'm sorry if I'm talking tech.
I know the one.
But you know the flame emoji on your phones? That's what that looks like. The colour, the intensity, the orange, the yellow, the reds. And then it opens up into these beautiful yellow flowers. But I'm going to show you on this video in a second on my phone, because actually what you get is they start a nice bright yellow and then they sort of fade into a creamy white colour. And because you get clusters of them, you get that kind of look happening. Let me me scroll over because I've got another video there. Look how on that one cluster of roses you've actually got different colours. And I love that. I think that's so interesting.
Yeah. And
that was June last year. I've got other ones from this year as well, but that was in June time last year.
And I do remember having a conversation with our head gardener many years ago, Peter. I said, oh, hang on. I said, talk about this rose. I said, oh, but the images of Arthur Bell, they just seem to look so different on our website. And it does depend on the actual age of the flower, because as Bex had just said, they do as the rose matures, they do change colour. And some moments you've got this wonderful kind of really rich kind of canary yellow, and then as the age you get these lovely like gentle yellows and creams, so stunning. And the rose actually changes shape. At times when it's just coming out, it's a little bit more full and pointy, but as it ages, it gets a little bit more loose and blousy. So there's always something happening with the Arthur Bell rose. It's an absolute stunner, isn't it?
That's. I love it. So that is the buds earlier on in this year. So that was May when the buds were opening up. Look how many are on that cluster as well. And it's a fascinating plant. I absolutely adore it. I think it's one of the best. Love it.
And it is only £14.99. That really. I'm not being funny, but I'd expect to pay that kind of price for a bare root.
Oh yeah,
you would.
No, you.
Yeah,
no, you totally would.
For the Arthur Bell, it's a very famous rose, and a bare root, as you'll know, it is literally a bare root, and you've got to do all the planting, the growing. That we've done all that, so that will arrive for £14.99 in a 3-litre pot. It's already a good few years old. So it should arrive in bud, some will be in flower, and ready for you to enjoy for many, many years to come.
Gorgeous scent on this one as well. I'm just going to remind myself. It's a sweet one, this one. Yeah, it's definitely more sweet than it is the rose smell. I love it, honestly. And when I'm out in the garden and that is in bloom and you walk around and that scent just hits your nostrils, it's so good.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
So sweet, isn't it?
I don't have a very good sense of smell, as some of you will know, but that, my nose is going, oh yeah, that's nice. So that is the Arthur Bell 530027 at only £14.99. Right, we have got one more rose. There's another one on our show that's on the website, but a very famous one now, which is a climbing rose, which is the Prince's Trust. This is another really famous rose.
Oh, it is, absolutely. And I do adore a red rose. There's just something very romantic, isn't there, about red roses. And this is obviously a climbing rose as well, so I've always fancied doing that, and I need to do it. I need to put a trellis up on my back wall and get it climbing up there, because I've got a southwest facing garden, the best position. Bit of trellis, bit of help just to get it climbing in, and that would fill that wall beautifully. A big top tip when it comes to your climbing roses: don't just let them climb directly upwards. Do sort of make them meander. So make them go side to side, because what that does is it stresses the plant out a little bit in a good way. What that will mean is it will send out more shoots, so you get a fuller plant, and then you'll get more flowers from it. If you let it go straight up, it'll still look beautiful, but you can make it look even more beautiful.
No, it's a good tip, that one, actually.
We have Adam to thank for that.
Yeah. Although, funny enough, we did have a lady come to the garden club and she talks about climbers in general, and she said exactly the same. Exactly. She said, don't just do that.
Make it go like this.
Yeah, because far more flowers.
The plant feels like it's under attack.
Yeah.
You've stressed it out. And so in order for it to ensure its survival, it sends out loads of shoots. It's exactly the same theory behind espaliers with fruit trees. You espalier them outwards, they send shoots out, which means you get more fruits. In this case, it's more flowers.
But it's a very easy growing rose. I say it's from Hartness, it's disease resistant, it will flower for many months of the year, every single year. And yes, trellises, archways, maybe you've got like an ugly area and you'll get an ugly wall, damaged wall, something like that. There's nothing better than a climbing rose. And that's a really famous one, the Prince's Trust.
Love it.
Right. Bex and I had a little meander out on the nursery this morning.
We did.
Yeah, Bex caught up with me. I don't know.
I did catch up. I was chatting.
You were having breakfast, weren't you?
I was having breakfast and I was chatting with Craig.
But we saw these.
You can't stop doing that to it, can you?
No.
Look at the size of it.
So the reason why we went out on the nursery, we just thought, hang on, is this an extra large one? they're all really good in terms of size. I mean, they're not all quite as big as this, but they pretty much are. There's a lot that look like this, but we guarantee at least 60 centimetres tall, and they will arrive in the 17 centimetre spot. But this is the cordyline can. My word.
We think this is the most spectacular of the cordylines, don't we? And it's because of the mixture of colours, we think. So you've not only got the beautiful greens, but you've also got these lovely pinks and burgundies. But then also just look at the stripes, at the... What's the word I'm looking for?
Margins?
Striation, that was the word I was going to say.
Oh, sorry, I was looking for the margins.
No, that's amazing, Stu. You read my mind. Yeah, look at those.
I know.
That is an absolutely incredible cordyline.
It's amazing.
And we love cordylines in our gardens, don't we? Because, you know, when you think about it, all right, let's put it next to the Nandina, for example. You know, that kind of foliage that you've got. Yeah. The contrast that a cordyline gives to the shape of the leaves, but also then you've got the addition of that colour included in there as well. It's incredible, and I think it's a really valuable plant in any planting scheme.
And when we've got an amazing selection of cordylines, but when you actually see them all on the nursery, the can does stand out. I mean, it really does, because you've got so many different colours.
I got a boring green one, just boring. When I look at them, it's great, don't get me wrong, I do love it.
No, I know what you mean.
But when I look at it next to this one, I'm like, well, mine's boring.
Yeah, I've got a mixture, but yes, some I do look at and go, yeah, you're just green, or you're just kind of like a browny colour. This is actually quite magical. Now, when the cordyline grows, what happens is it actually produces like a long stem. So this actually ends up looking a little bit like, I always think it looks a bit like a wonderful sort of like exotic tree, because as it ages, the bottom leaves will get a little bit tatty, and just keep taking those off with your sharp secateurs, and eventually it does create this long trunk. And I've got one in my garden, it must be about 4 or 5 foot high, and it looks absolutely magnificent. So you've got all the foliage on the top. Some of mine have actually got side shoots. A few of mine had like damaged crowns, and we'll talk about that in a second, but they've got side shoots, so it's got a different shape, but they still look great. But the one thing you might need to do in the wintertime, if it's a cold winter, is just to protect the crown.
Yeah,
and all you need to do, go on their backs.
You can do that with some of the faded leaves at the bottom.
You could, actually.
So you can just take one off at the bottom, and then all you do, and this is probably how it will arrive to you as well, by the way, so they'll be tied up
just
in the box like this. So on those really cold days, you'll just tie it up. I mean, you can use one of the faded bits, you can use a little bit of string, whatever it might be. Just tie that around, keep it secure, but only for the really cold days. Don't leave it like that all winter. And then just release it, and that will help to protect the crown of it, which means you won't get the thing where you get the side shoots. But even if that happens, the side shoots are quite interesting, aren't they?
So I've got lots of different types of cordyline, lots of different shaped cordylines, but you just do need to look after. We always said about how it's about -5.
Yeah.
So
I didn't protect mine last year. I mean, I'm in the middle of, we're in Lincolnshire.
Your garden's fairly sheltered, isn't it?
Mine's fairly sheltered. I didn't protect it last year. We did get some -5 days, but it wasn't too bad, so I didn't feel the need to. You just need to pay attention to, where you are and what your weather is.
Yeah. But what I love about cordylines, particularly this one, is just instant impact. They create a massive display straight away. So you imagine, in fact, you need to get some pots to go with this one. So I don't know which pot to go with.
Do you know what? Any of these will work. I think either would work, but go for it. Whatever you think here.
I'm just wondering if the terracotta clashes a bit with the pink.
Let's try it.
I'm not sure.
Oh, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, it does actually.
I like it. Or we've got the black with the silver. Oh, that's quite classy. Yeah, I like it.
So if you want the
powdered clay. And this one's the silver.
Silver, yeah.
They're all buy one, get one free, by the way. So that one's the helix with the silver.
Yeah.
And then we've also got the helix with the kind of
it's like a bronzy colour. We call it black and bronze. I like that, actually.
Yeah, I think you're right. The black looks better. I think the powdered clay looks great, but I do think the black looks better.
Yeah, I do. And that'd be very happy there for a good couple of years at least.
Yeah, totally.
They love sunny spots. They're like nice, well-drained soil and compost. I'd plant that in our premium professional compost, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, imagine that on your patio right now. It's so good. It looks amazing.
So good.
Love it. And that is only, say, $16.99, which is an amazing price for a cordyline of that size and maturity.
Yeah, definitely.
See, now I'm thinking I need some more cordylines.
This is the problem with working here, isn't it? This is the problem.
I know.
We spend all our wages on the plants. All right, let's run through the pots, shall we?
Right, so we've got 3 different colours and we've got 2 different sizes available, and they're all on the buy one get one free, don't forget.
All right, so this is the 13-inch. This is the black bronze. So what you've got are those horizontal stripes running all the way around. You have got the drainage holes in the bottom. You've got the extra channels there as well for the water to run away. There's lots of drainage holes in here. I don't think I'd be tempted to put any more in, but if you do want to put more in, it is so much easier to add holes into plastic pots than it is to ceramic and you know, clay and all the rest of it. So it's up to you. I think there's enough in there, but it's your choice. You have got the lip around the edge to be able to obviously move things, and there is some reinforcement in there as well. UV stabilised, frost resistant, and that's the same for all of the pots we're going to show you. So that's the Helix with the bronze finish to it and the 13-inch.
And then we have got the clay. So this looks like again, it's the 13-inch that we've got here. So again, it's the exact same design, but in a powdered clay. So it looks, I mean, it looks so authentic and real. But these are frostproof, they are UV resistant, they're going to last you many, many years, and they look beautiful. Again, it's a buy one get one free.
And then we've got the black and the silver. This is still the 13-inch size, and it's in the Helix. So I think this is going to work great, actually, if you want to go for different colours, because they're all going to work really nicely together. So that one just has that beautiful sort of softer silver finish on there. And then buy one, get one free again.
And then we've got all the same colours, so the 3 different varieties, but we've also got them in the 10-inch as well. And actually what can look really nice is when you do displays where you've got like a couple of smaller ones and then one of the bigger ones, and you can mix and match. You don't have to have all the same colours. These all work really well. They can like complement each other.
So that's the difference in size that you can see between them. So 10-inch diameter, that's the powdered clay, but you've also got the Helix 10-inch in the bronze and the silver, if that's what you would like to go for as well.
But all the options are, of course, on our website. But don't forget, you need to use our code, which is YGTV3524 today. So you put one in your basket, and you will get another absolutely free.
Oh, what else have we got on there?
We have got the small ones at $2.99 as well.
Oh wow, of course. Oh, we've got a proper little family of pots going on. I like it.
So you can have like the large, the medium, and the small all clustered together. So do take advantage, and don't forget, if you spend over £40 today, you will get free delivery as well. So do bear that in mind, free delivery when you do spend over £40 today. But I remember many years ago, Peter McDermott is our head gardener, known him for about 20 years. And I remember him saying to me years ago,
Years and years.
Years and years and years.
Years and years.
Apparently I said that a lot. But it was years and years ago. And I do remember him saying to me, you've got to grow alliums. And he said, once you've grown them, you want them every single year.
Yeah, and it's true.
And he's so right, isn't he?
So
right.
True. He's annoyingly right.
Yeah, but they are the most spectacular bulbs to grow. And I've actually got some dried ones in my conservatory.
I did the same.
They look great, don't they?
They look amazing. Yeah, love them.
They look so good.
Well, this is the complete allium collection. So you get 7 different varieties included in here. This is one of my favourites. I grew this for the first time. It's the Siculum. I grew it for the first time this year. You get up to 30 of those hanging flowers off each of them. That one was the Christophi, so massive, great big balls.
A big one, yeah.
That one's the Molly, which is the yellow one. That's the Neapolitanum that you get included in there as well. There's also the drumsticks. These are called Spherocephalons, and they're shaped like drumsticks. Those work great planted with grasses.
Yeah, they do.
And they're one of the later flowering ones. So they actually take you into the summertime. They flower in June and July time. And that's the purple sensation. I think that's the one that people classically recognise as being an allium. Of course, there's lots of different allium flowers. That's the one that used to see at Chelsea
for many years.
Yeah, still do. You see all the flower shows, don't you?
But look, so you've got different heights, different flowering times for these, which give you several months of beautiful alliums. Very easy to plant. And it's 100 bulbs. Imagine 100 of those. And as we said, the actual flowers, when they go over and form the seed heads, they can make amazing dried displays. Have you ever sprayed yours like gold or silver?
No, do you know I didn't? But I'm going to get my phone. But they were really, really pretty. And as the dried displays, I thought they were incredible.
Yeah, they really are. And what they excuse me, what they create is really fantastic architecture in your gardens. The height of these, some of them can get to, close to 1 metre in terms of height. They're amazing.
They really are absolutely beautiful, and they stay nice and strong as well. Like
That's a good point. Yeah.
They don't need massive staking. There's some of the purple sensations that I grew earlier on in the year. This was around May time. These were flowering, and the bees and the butterflies, with bees in particular, absolutely adore these plants. There's so many bees normally that are flying around these.
I mean, they're spectacular.
I love them.
Bulbs to grow. Right, I'm just going to give you a little tip. Because I remember when I got my mum to grow alliums, and her comment was, I'll do it in my mum's voice as well.
I love your mum's impressions.
Well, the leaves are a bit straggly. I said, what do you mean? And it's true, alliums, sometimes the leaf, it's like with a tulip, the leaves can be quite fantastic. But with alliums, the leaves are not the prime focus, and the leaves sometimes die down a bit as the actual alliums burst into flower. So the leaves are not particularly attractive. They can sometimes look a bit straggly. So I often underplant the alliums. Do you do the same?
Yeah.
Especially in pots and things. So things like if you put your pansy cool wave in there, then you don't see the leaves. You just see the beautiful flowers on those tall, elegant stems. So just mind me, but yeah, the leaves and alliums are just they can be a little bit straggly.
They can. Sorry, let me just scroll back onto that. That is the Siculum.
I love that one.
As one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I just grew it in pots, and it was such a beautiful plant, honestly.
I inherited those in my garden. They were because my garden. It was a building site. We basically bought a house, knocked it down, so we had a building site. But some of those survived. But they're in a really poor position as well. They don't get a lot of light, but actually
they
do
still
all right.
flower really nicely.
Yeah. Anyway, don't forget, Bex and I, we would love to hear from you. So if you want to send in comments, pictures, join the group chat on YouTube and Facebook, we would love to hear from you. So who's in the chat then, Bex?
Mandy. So...
Morning, Mandy.
I have my black grasses planted with some orange pumpkin geums. Oh,
that's a nice combo.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
A bit of a Halloween theme there. I quite like it. The
orange
black
and
the
black.
orange.
I like that.
And training rosemary in one planter and another with black pearl heucheras and Dichondra silver falls trailing. Love that Dichondra silver falls. That's so pretty. Elaine, you're putting your basket together. Good girl. Well done.
Wow.
Mandy's saying the colour of the designer sunset rose is stunning.
Isn't it?
Yes, we absolutely do. Does anyone know when a Barnsley baby should stop flowering? Barnsley baby, that flowers for ages. Probably around
I'd say about now though.
Yeah, about now.
My Lavativa have just kind of stopped now.
Yeah, Alistair apparently responded saying June to September, so probably around now is when it's going to start doing it.
I mean, I've just, say my Lavativa, I've actually trimmed it back a bit. It got a bit big. I'm hoping it might flower again because it flowers a new growth. But yeah, it should have stopped flowering around about now, so don't
Somebody
worry.
asked a question about lobelia, and I've missed it. It was about... Angela, here we go. I have 3 Queen Victoria lobelia.
Lovely.
And one plant is growing to about 1.5 meters. That's like here. How do I prune this?
That's extra tall.
It still has flowers at the top, although some of the lower ones have died off. I mean, I would wait until all the flowers are gone. I mean, lobelia tends to die back down naturally anyway. You don't really need to do too much to it, do you?
But I would take, if the flower stem's nearly gone over, once the final flower's at the top, just take the stem off.
Yeah.
And you may get some more even at this time of year.
You might do, you never know, because it is quite a later flowering one, isn't it?
It is. It's lovely. That's extra tall, about 1.5 meters.
That is extra tall.
Yeah, you've done
I'm 1.60
meters
something, so that's
really tall, yeah. That is actually.
That's impressive. Yes. I'd like to see that.
I want to see the picture.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Send us a picture. Who was it? Was it Angela?
Yeah, it was Angela.
Angela.
Go on. If you've got time, take a picture.
It's a nice day. Go on, nip out.
Love that.
You can go for 5. We'll let you. We'll let you off.
Any questions, any comments come through. But don't forget to check out your baskets. We've got some amazing deals. The shows actually in the last few weeks have been really busy. Loads of orders coming through. But I think you'll agree the deals that you get on YGTV are exceptional. But always use that offer code, which today is YGTV3524. We've still got loads to show you. I can see lots of hidden gems down here, Bex.
Yeah, I think you can remind everybody and I'll get changing stuff over.
I'm always shopping, sorry. I've got my eye on that down there. Right, let's remind you. of some of the amazing plants we've had so far. Now, if you haven't got your Panzercool Wave, get it now, because we are doing lots of different options, including, and these are amazing, 2 14-inch pre-planted rattan hanging baskets. So the baskets are gorgeous, they're rattan, they're natural, they will be crammed full of this incredible variety of pansy. And please don't mistake this for any other pansy. The Cool Wave gently trails and cascades. It is repeat flowering, so it flowers for weeks up to 10 months of the year. It is fully winter hardy to about -20, maybe even more. So this one is what we call bulletproof in the garden. So all the work's been done. You are going to have baskets flying for about 10 months of the year. Just a few little things you need to do. Deadhead, so take off the dead flowers, and also do feed it with blooming fast, even in the winter months. Not loads, not every week, but once every 4 to 6 weeks, do give it a feed just to keep it performing. 450 155. Or if you want to plant up your own baskets or pots, we are doing a buy one, get one free. So you're going to get 20 of these amazing plants in total. Now, they are garden ready. You don't need to do any growing on. They're ready to plant out right now in pots and containers. But do bear in mind, they do trail. When we say trail, they kind of cascade. So they don't trail like petunias. They're not going to trail several feet, but they do gently cascade and cover a basket. 409.67. And then the deal of the week. The deal of the week is, I keep trying with that jingle, is the choice here. What a deal of the week this is. Notice Bex is not joining in with a harmony there. Because this is half price. It is only $7.49, $6.74 if you are a club member. And this one is, I would say, yes, the foliage is beautiful, but for me, it's all about the blossom. When it flowers in springtime, it has the most incredible fragrance. Often known as mock orange, so there's like a citrusy kind of smell to this. Grows to about 1.5 meters, 2 meters, but it is relatively slow growing, so it will take many, many years, if not decades, to get to that kind of size. But it's a beautiful, beautiful plant, and it is the deal of the week. Oh dear. Bex, help me out. Right, then we've got, she's just laughing away in the background there. Thinking, yay, that's it, make you feel yourself, Shaun. Now, we have got the most wonderful offer. This was one of the best sellers last week, actually. It's the Dixonia. This is Bex's. She grew hers from the size that you're getting. That's what it looks like 2 years later, which is really incredible, actually. So it is the Dixonia. And many people aspire to owning a tree fern, but in honesty, if you buy a mature one, you're talking hundreds of pounds nowadays, maybe even thousands of pounds potentially. So this is your chance of having a piece of history, taking you back, potentially millions and millions of years, and a tree fern that is just incredible to the eye. There is something magical about tree ferns. Now, a few tips: it loves a moist environment, so really good compost, our premium compost, keep it nice and moist. It will need winter protection at this kind of size. It will definitely need its crown protecting. And I've got a more mature one, but I still protect the crown, put a fleece around it in the middle of those cold winter months. 502.43 for the Dixonia Antarctica tree fern there at just £4.99. Amazing value. $4.49 if you are a club member. And then one of my personal favourites in my garden, one that I'd recommend to everybody, we get amazing reviews for this one, it is the Nandina Firepower. So this really is a plant that looks good every single day of the year. Those are the berries that you get in kind of autumn time. Those were green to start with, then they turn red. The foliage on this one is constantly changing, so in the winter it goes the most incredible deep, deep red. But in the summer, it is a lovely glossy green. And then there's many times where you get all of those different colours of foliage at the same time. So it is evergreen. It doesn't lose its leaves, it's constantly changing. This one is great in a pot, it's a more compact variety, so maybe going to about 50, 60 centimetres. Little flowers, as I said, in the summertime, followed by the berries that obviously would be very popular in the autumn time, but constantly giving you interest, and a very easy one to grow. I think it does well in parts shade, You can grow it in a sunny position, but part shade, well-drained soil. It needs very little pruning, so just take off any kind of dead bits, damaged bits. If the shape kind of isn't quite to your liking, you can just trim and cut it back. But it actually grows very neatly and needs very little care and maintenance and attention. It's an absolute winner, and you are getting a double-up deal, 2 of those for $19.98, 510-823. And then one of my favourites is the Loropetalum. This is just gorgeous. So you get these fantastic kind of fireworks and ribbons in springtime, but it does tend to flower randomly for many months of the year. It's amazing. Mine has popped flowers out for the last 4 or 5 months. It's just kept flying. It shouldn't do, but quite often you will get some random flowers, but predominantly springtime. It is evergreen, so you're going to get that lovely bronze foliage all year round. It's fairly slow growing, and it grows in a very, what I call a neat, sort of like meandering shape. Almost looks a bit like tiered, actually, the way that this grows. And I don't know why, but it's a plant that you do not often see in the garden centres, but is actually really quite magical. And I personally think it's got a little bit of, you know, if you're trying to create like an oriental garden, I think it looks great with aces. It's got, I think, quite a tranquil feel about it, quite a peaceful looking plant, and that is 510-604. Can I recommend that highly enough? You get 2 if you double up to $19.98. And then if you are looking for one of the most stunning cordylines of all time, instant colour, instant impact, this is the cordyline Can. Grows, these can grow 1.5 meters, 2 meters tall over many, many years, but you are going to get a really well-established one that's going to arrive up to 60 centimeters tall in a 17 centimeter pot. But the colours on that are absolutely breathtaking. I mean, it just looks so exotic, so tropical, and instantly will have a big impact in your garden. I'm going to say, because the quality of those is so good right now, if you can stretch to it, go for 2 of those. Go for a couple, get some pots to put it in, try and get your order to over £40, and then you will get free delivery. But I think that one is going to be really popular today. 680 263 for the cordyline Can there. It's $16.99. But every day here at YouGarden, we get huge orders, huge orders for our compost. Those baskets are big, aren't they?
They are big.
Yeah, they really are. And I've got quite a big head, but look at that. But let's talk about our premium professional compost, because every day hundreds, thousands of orders go through for this. And that hanging basket there will have been grown in this premium compost. Yeah. Any plants that we grow, all of the roses we grow from bare roots, for example, grown in this premium professional compost. And I always think that if there was a better compost, we would be using it.
I know,
smells good, doesn't it?
For sure, it smells so good. I mean, every time you open a bag of this compost, you are, I mean, I'm never disappointed. I'm always so pleased at the consistency between opening one bag to the next.
You're
because
so right.
It's always the same, and it always smells so fresh, so lovely. And I know that sounds weird to some people, but you gardeners, you'll understand. Yeah. You know that we love that earthy smell, and that's what you get with this. It's not dark and dank and mouldy smelling. This always has a really good scent. A good scent.
It sounds ridiculous to say that, but it does. It really does. We'll give you the details if you can. By the way, if you want that cordyline Can, 680 280 there. But this is the premium professional compost. And actually, I said that we are really busy for compost every day of the year, but there are 2 kind of peak times, and that's spring and it's autumn. And I hate to tell you, but next week we go into September.
When does autumn officially start? Do you know?
Ooh.
I don't know, actually. I mean, we judge it on what the weather's
I was going to say...
But there's an official start to it, isn't there? I don't know when it is. Does anyone know? Let me know in the chat.
But the bottom line is, as we move into September, you will start making up winter pots, containers, winter hanging baskets. Autumn time, September, October, is a really good time to replant things, to move things around in your garden as well. So maybe, like we're looking at our beds and borders thinking, that's now in the wrong place, that would look better over there. Gonna get rid of that one, don't like you anymore. But it's a good time to move things around. And whenever I do replant in my beds and borders, I always treat the plants, as I dig my planting hole, to premium compost. I always put some compost in.
So I always dig a hole about double the size I need to and put a load of this in the bottom of the hole, particularly because I've got really heavy clay soil, which is nutrient rich, but it's thick and it's dense. I need to make room for those roots to be able to grow, and that's what this compost allows for. That texture that you can see when I'm running my hands through this, that lovely, light, airy texture, that is what helps those roots to be able to find the space to grow, to spread, to reach for their nutrients and their moisture, but also to form this really nice strong root ball. The strong root ball means you're going to have a bigger, better, healthier plant. It's going to give you more flowers, more fruit production. It's going to be more disease resistant. There are so many benefits to having that strong root system.
Now, we've just found the official start to autumn is the 22nd of September.
Is it?
Yeah, now that is only 3.5 weeks away.
Not far, is it?
So we do get really busy for compost at this time of the year, and we do give you free delivery, don't forget. You get 2 50-litre bags, but we better tell you what's in it. Now, you were talking about the amazing texture.
Yeah.
And the consistency. 50% of this is composted wood fibre, but composted to the best level. And because of the texture of this, when you look at how even that is, it means that everything from seeds right the way through to trees can grow in this. And it means that those roots can find their way through, get all of the nutrients, get the oxygen, get the water that they need. And I often think, when you buy a bag of compost and it's got big lumps and chunks in it, when you've got small plug plants or bedding plants or seeds, how are they actually going to get their roots through there?
Absolutely, and I've done it myself. I've bought those cheap bags, I bought whatever's on offer, the cheapest bag that's there, and then I've been so disappointed every single time I do it because, I've got great big chunks of twigs out of them, and you end up picking all of that out before you start planting. You never get that with this. And it's also packed with loads of other good ingredients.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about the peat because there are 3 different types of peat in here, and I'm going to make a confession. I ran out of compost for some of my tomato plants this year, so I grew some of them in a peat-free.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, only
experiment.
And do you know what? And it's good to experiment.
Yeah, by all means.
But the ones in the peat-free, I'm just putting out there.
Not as good, no.
No, and they've dried out constantly.
Yeah.
It's been really hard to keep moisture in.
Yep.
Really hard. That's one of my tomato plants. It is in a heavy-duty pot, but it's drying out. That's one of the better ones, actually. But, yeah. And I ran out. I just did a few in peat-free, but they've struggled a little bit.
Yeah, and look, I know we're working on a peat-free alternative, because we're all going to be forced to go peat-free at some point. And if there's any peat-free I'm going to trust, it's going to be the one that YouGarden developed, because I know how good they are at this.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit of peat in here. We've reduced the stuff that we can't renew, but there is renewable peat in here as well, like the sphagnum moss peat. The stuff that is not renewable, we've really reduced it down, so we've got minimum amounts but maximum results.
Now, you've also got a slow release fertiliser in here, which will actually feed the plants for up to 6 months of the year. And I always think this is an insurance.
Yeah.
So, yes, you should still feed plants within those 6 months.
I always forget.
Yeah.
It's always the last job on the list, and
I'm with you.
Every year I mean to do it on a regular basis, and every year I don't.
Yeah. In fact, the other day, my fuchsias at the pub, I've got loads of giant fuchsias, and they'd started to really stop flowering, and I thought, I've not fed them enough.
Yeah, I've not fed them.
So you have got your slow-release fertiliser in here. These little green balls, you find them throughout the compost. That will feed them for up to 6 months of the year. Now, one of the things I love in here is the wetting agent, because there's nothing worse than having a lovely hanging basket, it dry out, and that can happen in a few hours, can't it? On a sunny, slightly windy day, a hanging basket of a pot and container can dry out in a few hours. And there's nothing worse than watering it and all the water just going over the side.
Yeah.
It's really, and you're thinking, hang on, why is that water not going in the basket, not going in a container? Well, this has got a wetting agent. It really makes that water stick to the compost straight away, so it rehydrates just like that. That is one of the best features for me, because I've got to say, loads of hanging baskets at the pub, and I don't want to be doing this and all the water going over me.
Yeah, well, we want to try and conserve the water as much as possible, don't we? You've got a pH buffer in here as well, which, fancy terms, but basically it puts the pH level of this in a bit left of neutral. Just in exactly the right place, basically, for the majority of your plants to survive, and not just survive, but thrive. Of course, your ericaceous-loving plants, your rhododendrons, your azaleas, your blueberries, they need the ericaceous compost. We've got that available. But pretty much everything else, houseplants included, will have a wonderful time in this particular compost.
They really will. So it is our best-selling product here at YouGarden. We grow hundreds of thousands of plants in it every single year, and we highly recommend it. I mean, you know that. If you're a regular, you know how good this compost is.
Yeah, well, we have loads of reviews on this. If you are watching and you never tried it, first of all, put a comment in our chats. Our lovely regulars will tell you how good this is, but just go and have a little read of the reviews, because honestly, we can pick any page of the reviews and we know that there will be positive reviews on this. Stu's saying he read one where they've had 30 orders of this compost. They'll never use anything else now, because that's the results you get.
And don't forget a little tip, and we just want you to save as much money as possible and get the best value from the show. Some of you will buy compost to get your order to over £40, and that might get you your free delivery, because don't forget, if you spend over £40 you get free delivery. Some of you sometimes place separate orders for the compost, because with each separate order you place, you are going to get your free gift today, which is this fabulous heavy-duty grow bag. So do bear that in mind.
It's a great way to do it, because there's postage included on this item, so there's no postage to pay. So just for example, if you want 300 litres of your compost, place it in 3 separate orders, you will get 3 free gifts included, but you won't be paying any extra for doing it in separate orders, because there's no postage at all on there. So it's a really good way of getting the most out of your money, basically. We do it all the time, don't we?
We do.
How many crocus bulbs did you get last year when they were a free gift? Loads.
A dozen at least.
Loads.
But we have got some absolutely stunning bulbs for you right now. And as we said earlier, autumn officially begins on the 22nd of September. So it is that time of year where, you start planting your spring bulbs, your summer bulbs.
Yeah,
and we've
definitely
got a really good range. We've got tulips, we have got a complete collection for you. I love the narcissi coming up as well, because they're the really sort of compact small ones. Hellebores, we've got those as well. So this is kind of planning for the winter and the spring right now. Can we start with the narcissi?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I love these. Because these, you get 100 of these. But in fact, I was talking to Stu earlier about, I was planning the pub garden.
Right.
And I'm definitely going to plant loads of these.
Yeah, I love them.
Don't you? Yeah.
I particularly like these because these are the short ones.
Yes.
So look, I love the tall daffodils, but sometimes when you've got the tall daffodils that can get to a good sort of 50 centimetres in height, and then we get one of those windy days and they start flopping all over the place. Because these are the short ones, they're only ever going to get to, what, 15, maybe 20 centimetres in height. But it means that you don't have that problem with them flopping about all over the place. Yeah. But it also means you can plant them in lots of different places.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I think they're a lot better for things like hanging baskets. The tall ones just they make the basket look too top heavy.
Yeah.
So great for hanging baskets, great for your pots and containers, but lovely at the front of your beds and borders as well. Even in rockeries and things, they can look absolutely
I love
fantastic.
them in a rockery.
Yeah.
They look so cute when you place them in rockeries.
And look at the different varieties you've got in here in the short mixed. There's just so... You forget how many wonderful different types.
This one's the Rip Van Winkle, isn't it, at
yeah.
the bottom there? I remember that one. That's the Rip Van Winkle with the lovely sort of sparkler petals on there. But you've got some really classic shapes with the trumpet-shaped tulips on there. But you are getting that mixture included.
Not tulips, bags.
Trumpet.
Tulips, she said.
Shall I go home?
No! We have got tulips.
Told me off.
No, we have got tulips coming up.
I meant trumpet daffodils.
I know you did.
Sorry.
We are live.
You wouldn't have guessed, would you? You wouldn't know. Polished. This is polished.
Occasionally we do pre-record shows and Stu can edit the bad bits out, but not today because we're live.
Can't do that with things.
We don't care, Bex. We all say.
They all knew what I meant, right?
We knew what you meant. Yes. I just didn't want Sandra and Barnsley going, well, Bex, did I get some tulips as well? Where's my tulips?
No tulips. They're all daffodils.
Yes.
But you've got the classic...
The mini ones.
Trumpet-shaped daffodils.
Hey!
Plus, you've got those lovely, weird and wonderful ones with the Rip Van Winkles included in there as well.
Yes.
There we go.
But lots of different types of flower heads, lots of different colours on those, but they're all the smaller ones, the short mix. So brilliant for pots and containers and hanging baskets. Now, all the instructions are on our bulbs on the front of the package, generally speaking, so things like planting depth, spacing. The golden rule is point your side up, and normally whatever size the bulb is, you plant it 2 to 3 times in terms of depth. But I'm not, I mean, you can buy trowels and things that have got your planting depth on them. I never do.
I don't. I just follow that rule. I mean, some do fall outside of this rule, but generally when you're planting your spring bulbs, look at the size of the bulb, plant it double the depth of that. And as far as spacing is concerned, again, it's the size. So with these mini little daffodils, you can put them really close together and you get lovely little dense clumps of them.
And bulbs are very forgiving, so if when you're planting, some of them go slightly to the side, some of them may be planted slightly too deep, some too shallow. They tend to correct themselves.
They right themselves. Yes. They will pull themselves back around the right way.
Yeah. Now, the one little bit of advice I'll give, it wasn't the best year fall bulbs, and that's because it was so wet. So bulbs, if they're too wet, they rot. So if you are planting them in pots and containers, just make sure the drainage is good. Make sure the drainage is good. Get hold of them now. I wouldn't start planting them right now, but now is a great time to get hold of them. They can be stored for a little while. Unlike plug plants, which you need to do something with them straight away, these can sit somewhere in the garage, in the shed, somewhere nice, a bit dark, and then you can bring these out when you're ready to plant them. But grab them now whilst we've got some amazing deals and we've got the stock of them. And that for 100 of those. I know. You always pay a bit more for the miniature ones. Yeah. You really do. So that value is incredible. And I'm thinking of planting those en masse in the pub garden. They're gonna, because they always come out around about Mother's Day, and I love it when all the mums arrive. Well, get ready for your Mother's Day gift. Why not get a bag of those, plant them up in a couple of pots, get them ready, and then when it's Mother's Day, hand the pots over as their Mother's Day, floral gift, and then they've got those pots for many years to come. Yeah. If your 2 boys are watching right now, that's what they need to do. Yeah, boys, come on. Yeah. They ain't watching me. Not that they watch Beth. They don't watch Mum on the telly. Right, we're going to move on there. So I love that collection. The Narcissus Short Mix collection, 100 bulbs for $14.99. But what we have got for you next is a fantastic bulb collection. 300 bulbs at $14.99. That should give you at least 300 flowers. At least. Wow. Yeah, and that works out 5p a bulb, doesn't it? Yeah, 4.5 if you're in the club. Well, your maths is getting better than that. It's my memory, I think, that's getting better, not my actual maths. I just remember it. Yeah, I'm remembering what you said last time. That's what it is. This is great because you're getting a whole range of them. Now, we call it the Spring Flowering Bulb Collection. Mostly it is, but there are some actually in here that take you a little bit further into summer as well. So you've got months worth of colour going on in here. 7 different varieties, all of them winter hardy, all of them are going to naturalise and form beautiful flowers for many years to come. Should we run through the varieties? Yes. Should we do it in order of when they're going to flower? Let's do that. Yes. Which one's first then? We're going to go with crocus. Crocus, yeah, so crocus in the middle there. Lovely mixed colours of the crocus. I am right, that is the middle one, isn't it? Yes. Don't doubt yourself. Making sure my eyes were working properly. Yes. So you're going to get 15 of the crocus, purple, yellow and white included. They don't get really tall, do they? About 20 centimetres, really pretty. But being one of the earliest, definitely the sign that the lighter days are coming. Yeah, that's just, for me, the joy when the crocus bulbs start coming through. You're like, yes, it's not that long till the clocks change. And summer's on its way. The one thing I'll say, because I planted loads of crocus last year, put them in a slightly, I think they're really better in a slightly sheltered position, because if they get too wet, they kind of go to mush. So under trees and things like that, they look fantastic. Right. Iffion is next. That's these beautiful ones here. Mixed colours this time, so this is new. We have done this Spring Flowering Bulb collection previously, but it was only the blue ones of the Iffion that we had previously, whereas now we've got the beautiful pinks and the whites included in there as well. You're going to get 90 of those. Nice short ones, about 20 centimetres. March, April time they will be flowering for you. And they've got a quite nice sweet scent to them as well. Really pretty. And they do look good planted en masse, because they're only little to look really good planted en masse.
Definitely. And then we've got, so it's a toss-up really here between the daffs and the tulips. So these will flower at roughly the same time. So you're going to get 15 of the daffodils. These are the nice short varieties as well. March, April time. And then you've got obviously your tulips included. And there's 15 of those included, and they'll be flowering sort of March, April time as well.
Then grape hyacinths.
Yeah, the mascara. Oh, I always get it wrong. The mascara down at the bottom here. Adore these ones. These are quite vigorous in their spread, in their growth. So, I mean, they come up, but they spread, but they just disappear as well. So the fact that they will naturalise quite vigorously is a good thing. You get a carpet of those growing. Beautiful flowers there, and there are 25 of those included.
Yeah, I really like those.
Yeah, they're gorgeous, aren't they?
Yeah. And then we have got Allium Molly.
Allium Molly, yeah, so this one's slightly later. So this is probably more like May and June time these are going to come up. And these get a bit taller as well. We're talking maybe about 50 centimetres in height, those beautiful yellow ones there. So, you know, a bit of a departure to what your traditional allium looks like, but still part of the allium family.
And then finally, last but by no means least, we have got the drumsticks.
Love these. There's that guy I follow on Instagram. He's called Henry Agg. He's very handsome.
Oh, he's the one you fancy, yeah.
He is very, very handsome. He's a garden designer.
Yeah. He looks very similar to me, I find.
He's very similar to you, yeah.
Apart from 20 years younger, better body.
It's in his garden, actually, and I saw this. What he did was he planted a bunch of these mixed in with grasses. And these flower a bit later on, so these are more summer flowering, July and into August time, but those mixed in with the grasses, look, I mean, obviously there's loads of ways you can plant them, but that picture always is in my head because it's a really good combination. And
300 in total adds up to. So imagine the value and the displays that you're going to get. Incredible. And it's up to you. You might, I mean, I'm thinking, well, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, oh, 300 bulbs, where am I going to plant them? But, you know, you can do lasagna planting, which is where you put several bulbs in different layers in the pot, so you've got constant colour coming through.
I mean, you could do that. So you could do that with, let's just take 3 of them. You could take your tulips, your daffs, and your crocus.
Crocus, I do, yeah.
So crocus at the top, you'd probably put your daffs next, and then your tulips underneath those. And that would be a lovely display that you get in there.
But also, you think about, I mean, things like the mascara, they look great. If you've got like a woodland area in your garden, trees, things like that, lots of those look great around your trees.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beds, borders, hanging baskets. If you're doing your own hanging baskets, put a lot of the bulbs in with those. And I always think that when you're hanging baskets, sometimes they don't look great when it gets January, February. Sometimes they're not quite at their best. But then as it gets a little bit lighter and a bit warmer and everything starts to perk up and then the bulbs start coming through, it's amazing.
I love it. I love seeing that fresh new growth coming through. That's the exciting time.
So amazing value, working out 5 pence a bulb or 4.5 pence if you are in the club, and that's 630 050. However, if you want a designer look in your garden, we have got Tulip Purple Paradise for you next.
These colours.
This takes my breath away, does it you?
Oh, these colours are absolutely incredible. What I should have done is brought these 2 up as well, because this is actually on a 3 for 2 offer. So what you will get is a bag of 25 bulbs, but if you put 3 of these into your basket, 1 of those will be absolutely free. So you'll get 75 bulbs for the price of 50. I love this mix. This is one of my favourite. I mean, I grew so many tulips earlier this year. This isn't one of the ones. I'm doing this next year. But the mix of colour with the purples, the shades of purple, and then those whites just setting it all off. Those fimbriata edges, the crimping around the edges of some of those. I think this one is a total winner.
Yeah. A few years ago, I did, it was actually the year of the Queen's Jubilee, and I did all purple and white and silver.
Really?
Yeah, it looks good.
I bet.
Yeah, it does look good.
I am going to do 1 pot just filled with Tulip Purple Paradise. Of course, you can mix these in. If you've got another colour scheme going on, go ahead, go do that. But I think just 1 bag of these, or 75 of them, but, you know, a pot filled with just those, that's going to look glorious, and I'm going to do that for next year. I just think
they're really tasteful. There's a real elegance to this collection. And what we've done today, because we did the 3 for 2 on the tulips, but but what you can do this week is mix and match with the crocus bulbs coming up. So if you're thinking, well, actually, I don't want 75 tulips, but I'd like some crocus as well. Choice is yours, but look, so it's up to you. So you can mix and match any of the crocus with the tulips. So 2 crocus, 1 tulip, 2 tulips, 1 crocus, but one of those will be free. So we just thought it gives you a bit more flexibility in terms of what you'd like to order. We were just on a bit of feedback. Some of you maybe thought, oh, 75 tulips. I mean, I don't think that's too many, but you definitely not. But you can mix and match those with the crocus bulbs that are coming up as well. I like the mix and match.
I do.
Now, hellebores are next, but these are not boars. These are not boring hellebores. These are the double Ellen mix. They are just fantastic.
Again, it's this colour combination, isn't it? Very different to the purple ones that we were looking at. But this has got a kind of sort of more aged and antique look to it. It's got a sort of shabby chic look to the colours.
Yeah, I agree.
Look at those. Just adorable. And you've got double ruffled petals in there as well. I love the green coloured to the petals you've got on some of those that then contrast so effortlessly with that beautiful pink and the white and the speckling on the petals as well. That whole mix together is incredible. And of course, these are your winter flowering, sort of late winter. These will be in bloom for you when nothing else is flowering in your garden. These will be delighting. And not just you, but the pollinators as well.
Yeah. I'm just looking at those in close-up. There's some fantastic varieties. And we often think of hellebores, we do think of just the white, single-flowered hellebore, and they're beautiful, but there are so many amazing varieties. And I'm not a winter person. I'm not going to pretend I am. On a winter's day, if it's sunny and bright and I'm wrapped up, I love it. But winter can be.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Do you know what I don't like that driving to work in the dark and driving back in the dark. That's what I hate. But hellebores, they get you through winter, don't they?
They do, definitely. And it's these sorts of things that we need in our gardens. If you are like me and Shaun and absolutely despise winter, it's these sorts of things that help us to get through those dark days. And
they say they flower all winter long. Over the years, they do. Obviously, you get bigger and bigger clumps. They're actually pretty good at self-seeding in general as well, hellebores. So if you see something next to your hellebore that looks like a mini hellebore, it probably is a hellebore that's self-seeded, and you actually get 10 of those plug plants for just £21.99. Great in sort of like fairly shady spots, of course, as well.
I was just about to say that. I would not put them in the most sun-baked border or area in your garden. I have made that mistake in the past, and once you get to the hot months, they don't like it, basically. So, yeah, you want a sort of part shade or dappled shade area to plant these in. And if you're keeping them in pots, obviously, in the summertime, just move those pots to a more shady spot, and then you can bring them back out again.
But they're great for incorporating in winter displays in hanging baskets and pots and containers as well.
Yeah, good idea.
Can look really good.
I quite like the idea of experimenting with winter hanging baskets.
Yeah.
Do something a bit different.
Do you know what? I was just thinking back. Gardening's always exciting, isn't it? Whatever month, whatever week, there's always you're always planning ahead, aren't you? And you're always.
That's the beautiful thing about it. There's always something going on in your head that's not actually in the season we're in. Sometimes you can sit back and you can enjoy your hard work, and I think we've been doing that over the last few weeks. But now's the time to start planning ahead. Yeah,
it's a journey, isn't it? It's a constant journey, ever changing, and. Ideally, I want my garden to look good all year round, and hellebores, they do look fantastic in the winter months. £4.89.64, and you are saving £12.99. And then we mentioned, with the tulip purple paradise, we said you can mix and match. It's a 3 for 2. So if you wanted to mix them with the crocus, we have got those included in that offer. 40 of these bulbs at just £9.99, so you can mix and match.
If you're going for 3 bags of crocus, that's 120 bulbs. And I remember us talking about this last year with bulbs, and you might think, 120 bulbs, that's going to be an absolute nightmare to plant.
No.
That'll take so long. I can't, and it can. When you look at all the bulbs you've got to plant, I remember doing this last year and going, oh no. But just check out the size of these bulbs. These do not take loads of time to plant at all. They're nice, small bulbs, good quality, really nice and firm bulbs. But 120 of those planting, that's not going to take you very long at all.
I mean,
And you'd plant those in clumps together, wouldn't you? Massive groups of them.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't admit this, but I planted loads and loads in the pub garden last year. And our pub garden is, got containers this kind of size. And do you know what I did?
Did you just throw them in?
No, I wasn't quite that. No, I just used my finger.
Yeah, just dip them in.
I literally just used my finger, poked a hole, I'd literally popped in like, say, 40 bulbs in each container. Just use my finger, pop them all in, and then just sprinkle compost over. So I literally did that and just pop the bulbs, because I had to do mass planting quickly. But you can plant them really, really quickly and get the most amazing results. And they are, after your snowdrops, they're pretty much the next to flower, and they are beautiful. On a lovely winter's day when the sun just creeps out, they look magical. And if you if you leave them in the ground, they're naturalised. You get more and more for many years to come. Right, apparently we've had lots of pictures come with.
Oh, my word! He's got the email.
I'll let you, Bex.
I don't mind. Right, let's have a look. Oh, my word, there's loads. Oh, everybody, thank you so much. Amanda, so here's those bulbs. They look like... Oh, I need to mirror, because I was mirroring on my phone. Apple.
So what's Amanda sent in?
Amanda sent in... Maybe this... here's those bulbs. They look like the crocus. I'm not totally sure. Does this relate to a comment somewhere else?
It must do.
That I've missed. Amanda's normally on Facebook. Stu, has she put something on Facebook? He's having a little look now.
Then they're not crocus.
They're not crocus,
no,
are they?
Not.
I can't tell what they are. She said, I came across several pots with bulbs in. Nice greenery.
I mean,
but don't know what they are.
Some of them, the ready ones, look like they're lilies. Can you see, Bex?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, the ones with the longer leaves look like they could be nice this side, but they shouldn't be flat. I don't.
Well, the ones with the longer leaves they look like tuberose as well.
Yeah, there's all. Yeah.
But they should be well in growth by now.
Do you know what?
Amanda, I'm fascinated. Keep us posted.
Yeah, let's wait till they flower.
Weekly updates, please, Amanda.
Yeah.
Weekly updates on that, because I want to know what that turns into. If anyone else has got any ideas, let us know.
It's hard to say at that kind of age.
Eleanor, these were my alums a couple of years ago from the bulb pack from today's show, buying more to replace the ones that I've lost.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I love that succulent. That's a much better picture than mine. Let's save that one, Stu. We need to use that one in future.
I love the succulent as well. It's very, very unusual, isn't it?
I love the succulent. That's gorgeous. I didn't.
No.
Ooh, no, that's the Christify.
Yeah.
That's Christify. That is gorgeous. They get quite big, those. Yeah. They're not as densely packed, but I quite like that.
I mean, look at them. Look at the structure.
Absolutely.
I mean, what amazes me, and don't forget the alums are available on the show, just the perfection of that ball.
Love it.
They are just incredible architecturally, aren't they?
Yeah,
they really are.
That's the Christify again.
Oh.
And those dried, when the flowers go out, I mean, I left them out for ages, and then I did trim them down and dry them. Those as a dried display is incredible. And the bees they have the best time on those flowers. Oh, there's loads of pictures in there. We're going to go on to the next one. Thank you for those, Eleanor. Really appreciate those. Anthony says, hi, Bex and Shaun. Enjoying the show. This is my 20-year-old hibiscus. This year gets better every year.
20 years old?
I can't see a picture. Anthony, you've got to resend
it.
We want to see that. We want to see that 20-year-old hibiscus. The picture hasn't attached for some reason.
Hibiscus are looking incredible right now, aren't they? They really are.
George says, can't resist showing my Rudbeckia and Echinacea plants. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Check that out. Just look at, that whole picture there. You can see the little fuchsias in the background, that little bit of blue lobelia just poking in the background there. Look at that. Is that an Echinacea as well?
Yeah,
it looks like it could be, doesn't it?
Absolutely
Love
amazing.
That.
Lovely
George,
colours.
looking great. More plants. Oh, look at that. That's pretty.
George, thank you so much.
George, I think, George, you're the new gardener, aren't you?
I love all the bright colours, don't you?
I'm starting to not believe that George is a new gardener. I reckon he's been doing it for years. I don't believe that either. I reckon he's trying to hoodwink us.
Yes.
I'm joking. Oh, this is the Queen Victoria. That is...
Right, that's exceptionally tall.
I think you've got a mutant there. That is not what they are... I mean, it's fantastic, but that's not what they're supposed to look like.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah. So, keep it flowering a little bit longer and then just chop the stem right down.
Yeah. But that's incredible.
It is. That's fantastic.
Did that flower all the way up that stem?
That's amazing.
My word. Oh, I love it when you get a bit of a mutant flower.
Yeah,
They're quite exciting,
I don't think I've ever seen one that tall.
I've never seen one like that. Right, Tony, he wants us to identify some stuff. I bought the first deal of perennials and asked you to identify. Yeah, we did, and there was 3 you didn't know, so I've attached a photo. Now they're bigger, left to right, 1 and 2 top, and 3 and 4 bottom. Right, hang on. So I think 3 might be Gaillardia, and 2, I think you said Alchemilla. Can you tell me what was eating my hollyhock in the other picture? Ooh, I'll try.
I must admit, hollyhocks have been, this year, they've been nibbled away.
I also took your advice and ordered a Fatsia, and to make the £40, the Sambucus deal for the area I asked for your help. Try to keep this email shorter than Sundays. Bless you, Tony. You send what you like. Love that you've got the Fatsia and the Sambucus. That was on our advice. Do you remember who's the one with the pots out the front?
Yeah, that's a really, really good choice.
Great choice. Well, right, so let's have a look at the picture.
We recommended it, so it's got to be good.
1 and 2 top, 3 and 4 bottom. Oh, that is a Gaillardia.
That's Gaillardia at the bottom.
That one there is a Gaillardia.
That's done really well.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That looks like... Oh, that's... Oh, I know that one. Oh, yeah, we need Adam. He's so good at this.
Yeah.
And that is... Darn it. It's on the tip of my tongue, I know these. I'm gonna come back to you on this. I'm gonna look at these when we come off air, because I'm sure I can identify these for you.
Yeah,
Oops, sorry. I can definitely identify these for you. I know I can, but just my brain's going melted right now. If anyone in the chat, if anyone watching knows, Tony's pictures, put that in the email. I'm going to have a look at those when we come off air, Tony, and we'll see what we can do.
I was wondering, I thought the front one was the Aegean, but I'm not sure now.
No.
No.
And what's eating his hollyhocks? Could that be slugs? Could that be caterpillars?
I think it's more likely to be caterpillars.
Isn't it a bit late for caterpillars? A giraffe? No, it's not a giraffe.
I mean, it might be slugs.
Do you know, it could be. It could be a leaf cutter. No, the leaf cutter... It could be a leaf cutter. If it is, that's fine.
Because me and my mum have really struggled with our hollyhocks this year. There's been all sorts of eating them. But we tend to take off the damaged leaves. We really do. And they've still done really well, but we had a lot of damaged leaves with holes and things. We weren't sure what was eating them. It was definitely caterpillars earlier on, not now. But we've had all sorts. We've had a bit of trouble with just rust and things as well.
Yeah. It could be a leafcutter bee. I mean, there's leafcutter ants and stuff, but it could be a leafcutter bee. That looks more nibbled than cut, doesn't it?
I would take off the damaged ones. I really would.
Yeah.
I would, because you've got lots of new growth in the centre.
Yeah, I mean, you've checked there's no slugs and all that sort of stuff in there, so yeah, it could be any number of things, to be honest with you, Tony. Right, Lynn, Nandina Firepower and Pansy Baskets. Oh, look at that!
They look great.
That is a ceanothus, isn't it?
That's not flight.
No, it's not flowering. It's just the light.
No,
But those Nandinas look great, and you've got them in those. I think you've got them in the same pots as me. Those are the acorn. Oh no, pinecone planters. They look wonderful in there. Love that one, Lynn. All right, we've got another picture from Lynn. It's loading. Oh yeah, another picture of the Nandina, looking really pretty.
Don't they look? This is what we're saying about Nandinas, though. They do look fabulous all year round, all weather conditions as well. And I think one of the things we have learnt as gardeners this year, it's been a bit challenging, hasn't it? The weather's been all over the place. So any plants that kind of have still looked good, because it's been challenging, hasn't it? It really has. You know, that there's months of wet rain, and you know, it's a slow start to summer, but Nandinas are just a true performer all year round.
They really are. I just got blown away by the colour in this picture. Alistair, wow. Osteosperm and purple sun, some beautiful colours of lilies going on in there as well. Lovely fuchsias in there. Oh.
Got your geraniums at the front there as well.
Look at that.
That is just a magical collection.
Picture perfect right there.
Do you know, my osteospermums, I'm sad to say, mine
have just started to give up.
Yeah, mine they're not giving up, but they've just gone slightly over. I've fed them with some blooming fast.
I think because we're in for some nice sunshine again, because they like a lot of sun.
Yeah,
I think over the next week they might just perk back up again. Alice is trying to make me jealous.
Agapanthus.
All of you with your flowering agapanthus. All of you lot that can make your agapanthus flower. Wowzer, look at that.
Yeah,
that's the fireworks. Is that the fireworks one?
Yeah.
But then you've got some really...
I think there's a mixture, don't you?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Love it. That looks great, Alistair. Well done.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm not bitter at all. Oh, and look, we've got the gerbers going on there.
Oh, these are nice.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
The gerbers look fantastic.
What's
there,
that
don't
purple one there? That looks pretty.
Oh, absolutely beautiful.
Gorgeous
yeah,
blues.
thank you. We're not jealous at all.
Well done, everybody. Loads of emails there. Thank you so much for sending all of those in. Is anything going on in the chat that I've missed?
Just while we found the chat, quick few reminders. Now there's my purple sun.
Oh, look at your displays.
Yeah, they look terrible, don't they, Bex?
Oh, they look awful.
Yeah.
Your garden is rubbish, Shaun. You
need
to work harder.
I'm so disappointed with my gardening this year.
I don't like your garden at all. It's the worst garden.
No, that was filmed a couple of weeks ago. They're not quite as good as that. But I've fed them with some blooming fast, so I reckon they'll
come back. I reckon good bit of heat, good bit of sunshine.
They were in their prime a couple of weeks ago.
Are you going to try and keep them over winter? Because you can. I'm going to try this year. Because I just got rid of them last year. I treated them as annuals and I got rid of them. But I've grown them this year and I'm going to try and get them to come back for next year.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to give it a go.
Did you spill your Ribena down here, did you?
Yeah, sorry. Oh, don't. I need a cloth. I couldn't find a cloth.
It's fine. Don't worry. We'll clean it up afterwards.
By the way, so quick reminder. You've got to use that off code if you're new to the show, YGTV3524. Put that in your basket. That unlocks all the promotions. Your free gift today is a heavy-duty grow bag, which are brilliant for growing things like potatoes. Thank you. Oh, you found a cloth.
Yeah, I know where the cleaning stuff is.
Oh, well done.
Oh man.
So make sure you get your off code in, your free gift, free postage when you spend over £40 today. So you will get free postage if you can get your order to over £40. If it's not over £40, then we cap it at £6.99. But some amazing deals today. We've got a deal of the week. We've got loads of brand new bulbs. We've got lots of buy one get one frees. We've got loads of offers on the pots. But we're going to move back to our beta in a second. However, we noticed that the deal on the ornamental spruce bark is really good today.
It's so good. It's a half-price deal.
And postage included.
70-litre bag at $14.99. And I mean, if that's all you order today and you put in the code, well, you have to put the code in to get the half-price deal. If that's all you order, you're still going to get your free gift included as well. That's amazing.
So you might be thinking, well, why should I go for ornamental bark? So true story. I've got a eucalyptus tree, and everything underneath it, it's really hard work. It struggles. I have got ferns and I've got hellebores, but it's constant work. So I'm actually thinking of taking out the plants, putting them in pots, and just putting ornamental bark all the way around the tree.
And then you can put your pots back in place on top of it.
Yeah, taking the plants out, putting them in pots. Because that way...
They're not fighting for the nutrients.
No. So that's what I am honestly thinking of doing, because I'm just sick to death of really struggling. You know, it's so much work.
It will look so much neater as well. It'll look a bit more designed.
Yeah. And also suppresses the weeds as well.
Yeah.
So, and I know some of my mum's friends as well. My mum's in her 80s, and a lot of her friends, they're at an age where gardening is a bit more difficult. So again, it might be the case you want certain areas to be a bit more low maintenance. Again, by putting bark in certain areas. You know, maybe you can't manage your borders anymore. Again, put bark on them, and then maybe just have plants in pots. It makes it a lot easier. Yeah,
absolutely, and it will provide a bit of winter protection as well. So obviously, if you've got some tender plants, you can actually provide a bit of winter protection there. And even if it's just to make your borders look a bit neat, you know, that you can't underestimate the value of just neatening up and uniforming. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do. But it does neaten everything up. It does. It does make gardening that little bit easier. And the value for a 70-litre bag is incredible today.
Even just topping your pots. Like, I've got loads of pots that I keep meaning to get round, putting some, like, you know, ornamental gravel or anything on. I haven't got round to it yet. A 70-litre bag, if I was just to use that one bag for going around and topping off my pots and making them look more pretty, that would be perfect.
Yeah. So we just thought we'd highlight that today because it is half price and it is a massive 70-litre bag at $14.99. You can multi-order and we'll deliver it all, of course, free of charge to your garden, which is fantastic. But yeah, I thought it looks really neat. It tidies things up. And so for me, I'm really thinking of that whole area. Yeah, because I'm just sick of it.
Good idea.
Yeah. I just get it looking nice, and then a few weeks later, everything under that tree it's like, oh. Right, we're going to move on, though, to our kitchen bay.
Oh, I love this.
I do.
I want a leaf. I want a leaf.
Do you know what I don't understand? And not here at YouGarden, but bay trees seem to be really expensive compared to what they used to be.
I know. I don't know why. Oh, that smell.
Isn't that nice?
Oh, there's something that makes me hungry. Yeah, bays are... I mean, it's an ingredient that we use in cooking. It's a herb that we use a lot, you know. I use it so much in so much cooking that I do. And I just love my bay bush that I've got just outside the kitchen door. Love going out there and picking my bay leaves to be able to use in my cooking. But I also really enjoy the fact that this is a gorgeous evergreen, easy to look after plant that actually has a bit of extra interest with it, with those flowers that appear that the pollinators adore. I know we're growing it for the foliage more than anything, but you've got that extra added interest with it.
And don't forget, when it comes to having that gorgeous foliage, you've got that all year round, but it does flower. You get small little flowers in springtime that the pollinators love. I mean, we don't think about that, but it's actually got the accolade of being perfect for pollinators, so it actually is a really good pollinator, but predominantly grown for that evergreen foliage that always looks classy, doesn't it?
I do, yeah, because I think it's because it grows in it's very dense.
Dense, yeah.
The growth of it is very dense. So actually you can clip it, you can train it, you can trim it, you can toe puree it, you know, and that's why I think it is used a lot outside of, you know, high-end businesses and boutique hotels and all that sort of stuff, because you can make it look incredibly neat and tidy with very little effort. And it's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. So this has met all of those trials. It's proven, tried, tested, proven garden performer.
Yeah. And an amazing price today. It's only £7.99. Our usual price is actually really good than that as well. But it is down by an extra couple of pounds today. And don't forget, your club price, if you are a club member, is only £7.19. So £7.19 for all of our 45,000 club members here at YouGarden. Now, was this a top seller last week?
It was. I just wanted to take it out of the pot so you can see how sort of well established that is. You can see those gorgeous roots on there. I mean, it's not like all the compost is falling away at all. It's a really nicely, even though it's a small one, it's, you know, it's well in its way to becoming really nicely established there. Harvested under strict licensing agreements, by the way. It's important to point that out because you do have to have those strict licensing agreements to be able to harvest tree ferns. We have that. It's been responsibly sourced, and it's a fantastic plant, isn't it?
Now, I think most people I know would love to have a Dixonia. And
it's one of those ones you sort of aspire to. Everybody wants to have.
But the trouble is, because you sometimes go to the garden centres and you see them looking like this, and they are several £100s. My local garden centre has got one at the moment for £675. Now, we have got the big ones on our website for £275. I mean, don't forget, if you're a club member, you would get 10% off that.
Yeah,
but they are the big ones on our website right now are £275. And obviously, there are only a few people that really got that in the budget today. But you can actually have one of these at £4.99. So there's the bigger ones. So the 2 foot is £175. The 1 foot is £69.99.
Oh, there's a page I want to visit. Look at all those ferns and.
I know.
Oh, I love that.
But we've got different sizes available, but the most affordable, and this just means that hopefully everybody watching today can have one of these, but your price today on YouGarden TV is £4.99, obviously only when you use the discount code. Now, all you need to do is go to our show page, and there it is. That's the one. That's the one you need to put in your basket.
£4.99.
Hey, look at the review. Look at the reviews as well. There's 11 reviews. The average rating 4.6 out of 5. And don't forget, all of our plants have got full information on there. Bex and I sometimes do little reels, little videos, I should say, as well. But all of the information on every plant is on our website. So it's brilliant. If you ever something arrives and you ever think, forget where to plant it, what sort of conditions it needs, it is all, of course, on our website. And actually, we've made our videos even easy to find on the website.
We've been looking forward to this. Yeah, it's literally the next one that you click on, so you can watch that. If there's a video attached, you can watch it straight away.
Yeah, so it's really, really easy to find us. There you go. And look for the play button.
Is this one with Peter?
Yay! That's our head gardener.
There he is.
Hey, bless him.
Hello, Peter.
Yeah,
I feel like I haven't seen him for ages.
He's back though.
Is he back?
Yes.
Amazing.
He's back. He had a little break, but he is back. But yeah, there's lots of videos on there as well to make it even easier. Now, Nathan from East Coast Tropical has just checked in.
I mean, I would expect Nathan to have some of these. What you're saying is he's always grown his from the smaller ones. I love it. I love taking this. Like, it's nice. There's certain things, and yes, you want a nice big plant to fill that space. But I love nurturing something. Maybe it's because I became a parent. I don't know. Love nurturing something from a baby and watching it grow. It's exciting. There's mine, look. I mean, that's about a year on. So it was as small as the one in the potting shed. That's it in its second year. That was taken just last week.
I think that's grown faster than average.
I know, and considering I've done everything wrong.
Yeah. So Nathan, let us know. But Nathan said
I can't wait for it to start forming a trunk. How exciting is that going to be?
But to get to this kind of size, we are talking. I mean, mine's got a trunk, but it only grows, I'd say, an inch a year, if that.
So we're probably talking a couple of decades before it gets to that.
Yeah.
I'll be drawing my pension.
Yeah.
All right.
You may be fully grey by then, Bex. Stu said she already is.
I'm considering going grey.
Are you really?
I know this is a gardening show, but I'm considering letting it happen. I've done one of those grey filters. You know when you can do a filter and you can see what you look like with grey hair? I don't look bad.
I think you look good.
I don't look bad with it.
Yeah. Imagine the money you'll save.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think great. One of my friends has just gone grey and she looks amazing.
I can always dye it again if I don't like it, can I?
It's just that in-between bit that can be a bit,
As it's growing down.
Yeah.
Imagine when you've got that sort of badger stripe going on.
But then can't you get, I'm not a hairdresser, but could you not get like grey highlights put in as it's growing out?
I'm considering it. I'm going to the hairdresser tomorrow, so I'm going to chat with him about it. See what he says.
I think, look, what you got to lose is so you can always dye it again, can't you?
I mean, I'm coming back with my brown hair next week, but I'm going to chat to him about it. Anyway, back to the plants.
Somebody was asking me the other day if I'd ever shaved my beard off, and do you know what?
No!
Well, the truth is, I just dread to think what my face looks like.
Don't do it. My husband did it. Okay, so my husband's had a beard since we first got together, which was a long time ago. And he accidentally, because he was trimming his beard one time, and he accidentally put the wrong attachment on. So it was the shorter one, and he went like this.
Oh, my word.
And it was almost down to the skin, and I was like, oh, because then he had to do the whole thing. I couldn't look at him for 3 weeks. I was like, you can go somewhere else for 3 weeks. I don't want to see you, because it just didn't suit him. Don't do it.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna.
Don't do it.
No,
it shows your chin.
Chins.
Yeah, chins.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
If you've got more than one, it shows it off. And you don't know if you've got more than one until you shave it off.
Right, anyway, that's enough of our weekly guide to hair and maintenance and personal grooming. But we're going to go back to gardening right now because we have got our deal of the week, this amazing choice here, the Tonata at a half-price offer, and it's Stu singing it now. I think Stu should come in and sing that.
Oh my God, he's going to. I can hear him moving.
Come on. Okay, so Stu is in charge of technical. He cannot change camera.
Deal of the week!
That's not bad.
Viewers going down.
Yeah.
Everyone's switched off.
It is our, thank you, Stu. It is our deal of the week. Only for a limited time are you going to get this amazing price. And choice years, yes, it looks lovely now in full foliage, but it's when the blossom comes out in springtime.
The blossom is incredible. The fragrance, it's a really sort of sweet citrus smell. It's known as that orange blossom, Mexican orange blossom, and it is a sweet citrus smell. The plant gets covered in them as well, absolutely covered in those flowers. And it's a lovely springtime one, so around April and into May time. And it lasts quite a few weeks as well. Yeah. It's not there and gone. It does last several weeks. So that is a real highlight in the sort of annual journey with the choicea. But of course, we were talking earlier, this is a plant that looks good all year round.
It really does.
A bit like you, Shaun.
I wish, Bex.
Looks fabulous all year.
But it doesn't, and I do think about, my beds and borders, and if you've got too many things that are deciduous, and you just end up with lots of twigs, and if you've got lots of perennials that are herbaceous, you don't want your gardens up bleak in the winter, and this always looks really nice.
Gorgeous one, honestly. And it doesn't, so a nice dense growth to it, but it doesn't sprawl. You occasionally get a shoot that comes out the side, you prune that off. Nice and slow growing though, doesn't bully any of the other plants. I'm just imagining the fragrance now. Yeah. Can't wait.
Yeah, well, I got one of these. I think I'm pretty sure I paid full price, but I planted one last year in my garden. It's not much bigger than this one actually, but when it flowered, and it did flower this year, it was lovely. It's
a gorgeous smell, and it does fill the garden a bit like with my tuberose that's absolutely filling the garden in the evenings. When you're walking around in springtime and that's in bloom, that really does fill the space.
Yeah. So it's at this price, fantastic value, just £7.49, half price today, but it is our deal of the week, so you do have to be super fast. £6.74 for our club members. That's a really well-established choice here, isn't it?
Well-established in a 2-litre pot, so we're not talking about a baby plant at all.
Position-wise, I've got mine in sun.
Yeah, mine's in the fullest, sunniest border, and it's absolutely happy. It can cope with a slightly shadier position, to be honest with you. It could be in a part shady border, but it definitely wants a decent amount of sun to get those, those flowers on there.
And mine flowed about March, April time.
Yeah, mine was April time, April into May. Yeah.
But mine's in a really sunny spot, and it
gets the most sun it could possibly get in my garden. Yeah, absolutely.
But very easy to grow, and fully winter hardy, we should say as well on that one as well.
Yeah.
Right, we are going to move on to
the evergreen collection.
Yes.
Yeah, really beautiful selection. You will get 6 of these included, all in the 9cm pots. We can't guarantee exactly which varieties you're going to get, but here's a bit of a taster of what you might be getting. There's viburnums, there's choiceas, there's photinias in there. There's not a lavender, a rosemary down at the front there that you might be getting. There might even be a little ceanothus in there as well.
Unanimous.
What you will get is 6 amazing quality evergreen shrubs that are beautiful and easy to care for.
And the reason why we've put this together right now is actually these make fantastic centerpieces for winter pots.
Love that.
So if you're doing, we've got loads of pots, buy one get one free on the show, and I always think in a container to have something evergreen in the center, and then all of your winter bedding like your pansy cool wave, your bulbs around it, just really works.
It's an essential little collection because you know what, even in the most established gardens, gaps appear. Certain plants come to the end of their lifespan and you need to fill those gaps. So I think it's an essential collection for any garden.
And what I've again just in terms of what I've done when I've bought collections like this, I've maybe used them in the first year in pots, containers, hanging baskets, just as a centerpiece, and then the following year I've taken them out and then put them all in a permanent home as they're getting a bit more established. But it's an amazing collection, and to say the value there works out, you worked out £2.50 each?
£2.50 each, but much less if you're in the club, of course, because you will get that 10% discount.
Yeah, so that would be £2.25 per plant.
We're on it with the maths today.
We are. I don't know where the time's going now, Bex.
I know, we're nearly done.
Don't forget, if you want to come through, if you want to come to be part of the show, you can email us at ygtv@yougarden.com. You can message us on. Be part of the chat, the group chat on YouTube, Facebook, of course, but we would love to hear from you. But that's the email address there, ygtv@yougarden.com. But very important, start checking out your baskets. We've been really busy the last few weeks, actually.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, had a really busy time, but always use that offer code YGTV3524. That's the code for this week, and that will unlock all the different promotions and give you your free postage if you spend over £40. If you don't spend over £40, we cap the postage at £6.99. And your free gift today is that heavy duty grow bag. But we're going to move on to Pansy Cool Wave. Buy 10, get 10 absolutely free. Garden ready?
Yeah, garden ready. So these are the just larger plug plants. So we do a variety of sizes of plug plants. Garden readies are just that bit bigger, so they're ready for you to plant out, basically. You can see they've got a really nice white fibrous root system on there. That tells us the quality and the health of these plants. They are grown on by expert growers, basically, making sure they're looked after so they arrive to you as good as they can possibly be. You can actually see on the plants that we've got here, there are some that are blooming right now. We've got flowers appearing on there. That is 1 pack of 10, but of course this is on that buy one get one free. So if you use the code Put one in your basket, use the code, we will give you another pack of 10 absolutely free. These are plants that will flower for up to 10 months of the year. And that picture there, that is a very realistic display of what you can get in your garden. You've been planting these for years, haven't you?
I have, and do you know, I remember the first time I saw them, and I was working with Angela. Some of you remember Angela from years ago, and I remember her saying everything you've just said, Bex, and I was sceptical. I was like, nah, they can't really flower for 10 months.
Surely not.
They can't. My baskets are
no
not
way.
really going to look like that one in the picture, but they do. And I've grown them with other pansies. Sometimes I mix them up, and the Kuwait just outperform. They are the winners. They are the ones that keep flying for 10 months. They are the ones that are covered in those pansy flowers. And the pansies are slightly smaller than traditional ones, but bigger than a viola. But you get thousands.
You get so many.
Yeah.
And of course, they're not just for hanging baskets. I know that's what we show you them in, and they are perfectly suited for hanging baskets. But do think about going for them in, in your pots and things as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because these look great planted into pots, just tumbling and cascading over the edges of them.
And they are today a buy one, get one free. So that's 20 plants in total at just £14.99. Right, now if you're thinking, I can't be bothered to do my own baskets this year. We've done it. We've done all the work for you. Not Bex and I personally.
I wouldn't mind. No.
I wouldn't mind.
I'd love to have that job of potting them up.
Well, we can ask, can't we?
I'd love to do it.
I'll give it a miss because I already have to plant up about 35, 40 hanging baskets.
Yeah, I've only got 2 hanging baskets, so yeah.
I have to do loads.
It's still all novelty for me.
It is, to be honest, it can be enjoyable, but not everyone likes to do it. And actually, I'm just working out. Hang on, let's work out the maths here. So this is working out £13.50 per basket if you're a club member.
Yeah.
If you're not, it's £15. But I'm just working out what the cost of the actual basket would be. I reckon you'd pay for a rattan basket like that. You must be talking, what, £8?
Yeah,
something like
I would
that?
have thought so. For that size as well.
And
I'm just trying to work out how many plants we've got in here.
How many plants would have actually been put in there? And so when you start doing, and then you need all the compost as well.
Yeah.
So when you actually work out, I think you'd struggle to actually make up a basket for £13.50.
I agree. I absolutely agree, yeah, definitely. And of course, it just makes it nice and easy for you. And you know what, you don't need to tell anybody that you bought them as pre-planted. No. You can tell everybody you did it yourself.
So Stu was working out, you've been online, what is it, about £5 to £7 for one of these? Yeah, so say £6 per basket. We're just kind of going in the middle there. So you've got £12 worth of basket on average. Club members get this for £26.99, so £15 extra you're paying.
Yeah, I was trying to sort of see.
Basket. And I mean, yeah, the amount of plants in there.
I mean, there's I'd probably have 7 around the edge. There's probably 3. I mean, there could be 8 to 10 in each of these baskets.
Yeah. And then all the compost and all the work, of course. So they're really good value.
They are.
And sometimes it is nice just to open up a box and go, oh, there's my winter basket. Just hang it up. Job done.
All done.
Yeah.
And of course, if you get your order to over £40, you will get free postage on these as well. And I won't lie, these are not
heavy, aren't they?
light.
Yeah.
You know, there's some weight behind these. So if you can get and it's only another £10 and a penny, or a little bit more if you're in the club, obviously, because you got the 10% discount. It's only a little bit more you need to add into your basket to get that free postage.
And we should say yours may not be as big, you know, as advanced as this in terms of the flowers.
They won't be long. No, we saw them yesterday.
They're
actually,
pretty good, aren't they?
When Stu and I went for a wander round, they're all looking quite good.
Yeah. So all pretty similar to this batch.
Yeah, there was loads of flowers on them. We'll show you in a bit. They're just around the other side. There's loads of flowers on them.
So there you go. So if your summer baskets have just gone over, just starting to go over, then get your winter ones right now. And actually, just a little tip from my own experience. Sometimes if you leave it too long to get a winter basket done, I've sometimes left them till maybe November, and it's too cold, it's too dark for them to actually get established.
Yeah, you need to get them out and start it. Even though these are winter flowering, they do still need to get a little bit established while we've still got the light and the warmth, and then they'll be fine.
Even if you don't hang them up straight away, maybe your summer ones still look good, Get them, keep them on a nice position on the patio, and then when you're ready, just swap them over. But get them today while we've got that amazing. You're actually saving £20 on those today. 450 155. Now, moving on to this one, your favourite, isn't it?
Love a wisteria.
Yes.
Absolutely adore wisteria. It's one of my favourite plants of all time. Absolutely gorgeous. I've got one of these. In fact, I've got two wisteria. I've got one which is the Amethyst Falls, and I've got it in our tower pots. I just love the flower display that you get from this. You know, sort of in sort of late springtime, isn't it? April and May time, you get these beautiful, and they look like bunches of grapes. They are absolutely gorgeous. The bees adore them. They're just, I don't know, there's something very wistful about them, quite romantic. If you've ever been to Cambridge, have you seen them growing across the buildings in Cambridge?
Yeah.
Oh my word. I adore them, and they're really easy to grow as well.
And hang on, sorry.
Yeah, we've got a double up deal today.
That is really good, working out £15 each.
£15 a plant.
Yeah. That is really good, isn't it?
Well, the beauty with Wisteria Amethyst Falls as well, which is something that's really important to point out to you, is that these will flower for you in their first season. And if you've made this mistake in the past and you bought a Wisteria and you bought a young one, and then you've had to wait 5, 6, 7 years for those flowers to come, because that is normal with a lot of varieties of Wisteria. They have to establish before you get the flowers. That isn't the case with the Amethyst Falls.
And Bex, I know sometimes with the Amethyst Falls it does flower again in autumn. Do yours or?
Yeah, no, I've had a couple of flowers come out recently on it. Not as much as last year, actually. I had more flowers come out later on in the season last year, but I have had a couple just recently pop up on the wisteria.
They do sometimes, this particular variety, do sometimes flower twice, but you say you never get quite as many in autumn. But
never quite as many. It depends on the season.
And a lot more compact as well. I know. I mean, you've got a small, not a small garden, because it's, I'd say, average size. But
average family
you
garden.
Probably haven't got room to have massive wisterias everywhere, all up the side of the house.
Absolutely not. No. I would love to, but the only place would be the back of the house, and of course there's all the piping and everything from the bathrooms and stuff. I just can't do it. So I've got one that's in a massive, great big pot that I've got a trellis up on top of that it climbs up on, and the other one is in our tower pots, which is the most brilliant thing for growing your wisteria in. And surprisingly, this is also on a double up deal. So, love this idea. Having 2 wisterias in your tower pots, either side of whatever it is you want to put them either side of.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not on the show.
But
you'll still be able to get it, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's on the website.
Stu's going to check that the double up deal is working. Bear with us.
It's a good time to actually say to you, if there is something else that you want to buy that's not on the show, you can still put it in your basket. So you can shop the website, shop the YouGarden website. You can actually put whatever you want in your basket, but still very important, when you check out, you do use the offer code, which is YGTV3524, and that will unlock all of the different promotions. But yes, that tower pot.
Right, apparently.
Go on, what is it?
Does the double up deal work with last week's code, Stu? Right, so unfortunately the double up deal on the tower pot doesn't work with this week's code. We're checking that it works with last week's code, but it does mean you'd probably have to do it in 2 separate orders. Could we change it, Stu? Do you think?
Could we change it for Sunday, maybe? Do you think?
Maybe to get it changed for Sunday. We're going to ask about that and see if we can get it changed so it's this week's code. So if it is something you're considering buying, just hold fire and we'll see if we can get that fixed.
If you don't want the tower pot, but you just want the wisteria, you can order that right now at that double up deal. So remember, for an extra £10, you can get 2 of those for just £29.98. 550-238.
Stu's furiously typing right now. He's like, Brian, please, can we fix this problem?
We are pretty good at, getting stuff sorted quickly,
I'm sure it'll be fixed.
Just quickly, by the way, the free gift today, if you've just joined us, is this fantastic, we call it a heavy-duty grow bag. So predominantly these are used for growing potatoes, tomatoes. I've grown mini orchards in here, raspberry canes, brilliant. But it's a really handy item. So weeding, deadheading, moving things around. We're talking about if you've got a log burner, bringing logs in. But I actually use mine for shopping as well. And
yeah, it's great
shopping.
I mean, they're great for so many different things. Obviously, you can use them for your garden tidies and you can use them for your planting, but just transporting stuff, shopping, days out at the beach, moving your logs from outdoors to indoors. The point is that they are really heavily stitched, both at the edges but also at the handles as well. So if you've got a really heavy load in here, these bags are going to be able to cope with it.
Yeah, and it's your free gift today, worth $4.99. But we've only got about another half an hour or so left. We've still got a few things to bring in there, haven't we?
Yeah, I believe. I think we're going to repeat a couple of things, but yes, we're going to talk to you about a few more plants coming up.
And if you want to see anything again, if there's been something we showed you earlier and think, oh, I'd like to see that again, like to tell more about it, then just let us know by either emailing or being part of the group chat on YouTube and Facebook. Let's remind you, though, of some of the favourites we've had this fabulous Thursday. Now, you're loving our deal of the week. Our deal of the week. Very good. That's lovely, Bex. Almost as bad as me. But it is our choice here. An absolutely fantastic variety that flowers. This is a spring flowering plant, so sort of mine was like end of March, April, and the scent of the blossom is magnificent. It's often known as the mock orange because you've got this gorgeous citrusy fragrance. Grows to maybe 2 meters, something like that, when fully established, but relatively slow growing, and loves a sunny spot, well-drained soil. 511 495. It's a real beauty, that one. Now, we've also got an incredible allium collection for you right now. Alliums, architecturally, they are the most beautiful, beautiful bulb. And this variety, we've got different heights. We've got slightly different flowering times as well. So some of them will start coming up sort of May, some of them will be flying sort of even into July time. So 7 months of flowering, but lots of different varieties and colours. Absolutely amazing. And don't forget my little tip on allium. Their foliage is not particularly attractive. It sometimes sort of like actually starts to get a bit straggly and dies down as the flowers appear. So you might want to, if it's in pots and containers, just underplant them with things like your winter bedding. Your pansy cool wave would be absolutely brilliant. 630 126, and you can dry the flower heads and make some amazing displays as well. It's only $12.99 or $11.69 if you are one of our club members. Then we've also got the mini daffodil collection. I'm definitely buying this. I'm going to buy several of these actually. So really small compact varieties, round about 20 centimetres maximum in terms of height. So these are ideal for smaller gardens, smaller spaces. Great in hanging baskets, great in your winter pots and containers, and 100 for $14.99, so working at about 15 pence a bulb, and all kind of flowering round about March time. Obviously, depending on what kind of winter we have, depending where you live, but a gorgeous collection that I am definitely buying today. $13.49. It's a club discount price. And then our crocuses. Oh yes, I always think winter can be a bit bleak, but crocus are some of the first to flower just after your snowdrops. And these are actually on a 3 for 2 offer, but you can mix and match them with the Purple Paradise, which we'll show you next. So you can mix and match crocus and the tulips, but a lovely variety of crocus, 40 lovely bulbs, all really good size, really firm as well. I'm not being funny, but sometimes you buy a packet of bulbs and a few are soggy and they're not going to flower. Our quality with our bulbs is absolutely incredible. But yeah, I just adore crocus. They always put a smile on your face. During February, which is actually one of the bleakest months of the year generally, isn't it? 600,082 for the crocus species mixed. And then the tulip are the Purple Paradise mix. Again, they are on a 3 for 2 option, so you can mix them with the crocus, but what an incredible collection this is. I mean, it's breathtaking. It's so elegant, so sophisticated. You've got all of that, like dusting on the tulip petals there. The fimbriata is it's known, so you've got that lovely kind of frilly edge to some of those. You've got different purples, different mauves. You've got the pure white in there. Absolutely breathtaking. They're really spectacular. And you can mix and match with the crocus. I think they are one of the most beautiful collections ever. Then we also brought you the hellebores. Now these are winter flowering. And sometimes random flowering. I've had a few of mine flower recently. You know, I always caveat some of the things we say on the show because nature has its own course sometimes. But predominantly, yes, these are winter flowering, sort of semi-shaded position. They are all doubles in this collection, or a variety of doubles in terms of the colours. Like a shabby chic collection, so you've got lovely like vintage tones and colours to those. 10 plug plants, just £21.99, 480964. And then we've also got for you the complete spring flying bulb collection. Now, oh, you've loved these. I mean, the value, this is our real value pack, is incredible. And you've got everything in here from Narcissi muscari to grape hyacinth. These are like little mini bulbs. They look great actually under trees and in kind of woodland areas. Crocus are included in here as well. Triumph tulips, got 15 of those. And you have got, of course, got two different types of alliums there, including the drumstick and the allium molly that you're looking at right now. So amazing value. And that, in terms of flowering period, those would take you from February all the way through to potentially July with the allium drumsticks. The Iphians that we're looking at right now as well. So we are looking at 6 to 7 months of colour for £14.99, which is just absolutely amazing value for money. 630050. Right, Bex, you've been having a bit of a shuffle round.
Bit of a shuffle round, yes, and a few serving suggestions for you as well. But two amazing plants, but all are new pots as well. And I love this little family of pots that we've got in the same sort of design, but just slightly different shades. So these are going to work really nicely together.
I think they look jammed.
I quite like it.
I do. I was over the other side of the studio there and I looked across and thought, they look really good.
They look good together, don't they?
Should we start with the Nandinas?
Okay, yeah, let's do it. So Nandina is, I mean, it's one of the plants we constantly bring back, and that's because it is super popular. And one of the reasons, I mean, there's so many reasons why, but like, it is evergreen or ever red, but it has this changing colour to it. And I love that it changes colour with the changing temperatures. Actually, I should bring mine in, because mine's got this really beautiful shape and pattern happening to the leaves at the moment as well. It's gorgeous. I'll see if I can remember on Sunday to bring it. It is beautiful. So you get these lovely sort of, in the warmer months, you get these lovely green tones. But as it starts to get a bit colder, you start to get those darker, deeper tones, the reds and the burgundies. So you can get that mixture of lit colours on the same plant. But you think it's going to drop its leaves because it's doing that colour changing display as it gets colder. But it doesn't, does it? Keeps those leaves on there.
They look good every single day of the year. And what's really strange, I mean, I think about when I walk around the garden in the middle of winter, things like sometimes the castor oil plant, when it's really frozen, is all droopy looking.
Yeah.
Other things that can look really tatty in the winter. Some of my grasses can look quite tatty. Lots of things have lost all the leaves and are just twigs. Some things have disappeared completely. But I've never ever looked at the Nandina and go, oh, you're having a bad day.
Yeah, I need to hide you around the corner.
Never,
no,
honestly.
They always look good.
And you do also get flowers, and you get the berries that you saw as well that turn that lovely waxy red. And this is we've got a few different Nandinas. We do the Obsessed as well, but this is the more compact one.
Yeah, this is only ever going to get to about 50 or 60 centimetres maximum when it's grown to its full potential. So a couple of feet height and spread. So really nice compact bush for you. So fantastic if you've got smaller spaces or smaller, smaller gardens, or just small gaps in borders that you want to fill, or absolutely perfect for pot plants as well. So they come in the nursery pots, these ones that you can see here, but we have actually paired them up with some pots that we think you might like.
Yeah, but I just cannot emphasise enough how Nandinas totally earn their place in your garden. They really do,
don't they?
Yeah, every day.
Absolutely.
Every day of the year. They look magnificent. And very little maintenance. I mean, mine are in sort of like semi-shaded areas. I very rarely prune them. If the odd bit looks a little bit tatty, I'll just take it off. But that is pretty much it.
It's all you need to do to them. Yeah, absolutely. And they're totally winter hardy, so they will have our lifetime guarantee on them as well.
Yeah. So if it does die, and it's really hard to kill one of these, but if it does, we would replace it free of charge. You'd have to pay the postage. I have got a confession to make.
Oh.
I bought some more, and one of them I was a bit slow planting, and I left it in a pot, and I went away for a few days, and it totally dried out. Totally dried out. And I thought I'd killed it. I was like, no, that's not good. But it did lose its leaves, but it grew back.
It grew back again?
But it was like, it had been dry for a long time. It had been caught by the wind. But yeah, it did grow back.
Oh, there you go.
So they're pretty bulletproof.
But you were proud of that plant rescue, weren't you? That was
I was devastated and
like,
nearly killed it. I was like, how could you do that, Shaun? You know, but it just had totally dried out for quite, I think more than a few days, if I'm really honest, like a few weeks. But yeah, they're brilliant. They really are.
Really good.
But the pots, I think they look great in a dark pot.
They do. This is why we've gone for this green in the dark pot. So I've got the 2 colour options out here for you. You will, when you choose one, you will get 1 colour, but it is a double up deal for you. So this one here is the bronze helix, and you can see the difference in the tone. If I just tip that one back slightly as well, look, you can see this one is the bronzy colour and this one is the silver colour. So the details on your screen at the moment are for that black and bronze. It's 13-inch diameter and it is a buy one, get one free. So put one of these in your basket, you will get 2. You've got 2 different sizes here as well. So there's a 13-inch, which is the one that you are looking at, and the other one is a 10-inch that you can get. So it's up to you which colour you go for. You can either go for that black and bronze, or we'll give you the details for the black and the silver in the helix planter. 130590. Put 1 in your basket, use the code, we will put the other one in for you.
And the great thing is all the helix, you can mix and match. You've got different sizes, different colours, but they're all UV resistant. They've all got fantastic drainage holes already pre-drilled, and they should last you years, if not decades. And that is important. I think so many people in the group chat it was a tough year gardening wise, and I think a lot of plants died because they were waterlogged.
Yeah, definitely.
It's one of the biggest ways of killing a plant, keeping it waterlogged. So we had months and months of rain, didn't we? So it's really important going forward that if you are going to have pots and containers, that you've got really good drainage. And
definitely.
I think pretty much all of our pots always have really good drainage systems.
Yeah, but if you do want to add extra holes, I think that there's some great ones in there. If you want to add extra, so much easier with a plastic pot. Drill some holes in. When you try and do it in, I won't do it because I've cracked them in the past, and they cost so much money. You don't want to break it by doing that, do you?
So if you'd like to go for those in the silver, 130590. It's a buy. You just put 1 in your basket, use the offer code YGTV3524, and you'll get another absolutely free. And then we've also got the silver in the 10-inch diameter. Again, buy one, get one free. Yeah,
so 10-inch diameter. If you're going for the silver in the larger one or the bronze in the larger one, maybe go for the silver in the smaller ones. They will mix and match, and that's the beautiful thing there. So 130609, if you want the 10-inch silver, buy one, get one free. Remember, put 1 in your basket, enter the code, we'll put the other one in there. And then you've got the black and the bronze on the buy one, get one free as well. It's quite a subtle difference, but that difference is there. I love this mix and match idea, though.
Yeah.
And you can multi-order on these as well, as much as it's a buy one, get one free. If you buy 1, you'll get 1 free, but if you buy 10, you'll get 10 free. You know the deal.
Yeah. And you might well want to go for different colours, different sizes. We've also got the powdered clay one here as well. So looks like a sort of aged terracotta. And again, available in 10-inch or 13-inch, but the 10-inch there is just £8.99. Again, buy 1, get 1, absolutely free. Now, we've also got one of my absolute favourites in my garden, which is the Laura petalum. I just adore this. And first of all, the foliage, the colour of it is pretty spectacular. I've learned over the years, you've got to have different coloured foliage in your garden. If it's all green, it can still look nice, but if you've got contrasting foliage, it's just so much more dramatic.
It makes everything stand out.
It does.
It makes the green plant stand out. It makes this stand out. It just makes such a difference. But it's when you get the flowers that appear on here as well, because they are hot pink. These aren't just pink. They are hot pink in colour when you get these flowers.
And they're so unusual.
Love them.
They are like bunches of little tassels and ribbons, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a bit like the star style, isn't it? The way the flowers appear on there. Yes. It's very much like the azalea star style.
Yes.
I mean, this one's flowering. It really shouldn't be at this time of year. But as you were saying, yours has thrown flowers out multiple times.
They're supposed to flower sort of springtime.
Actually, you do get a second flush with these around September, October.
Yes, you do.
It's a bit early, this one, but you do get a second flush, don't you?
You normally get most in spring, second flush in autumn, but mine have randomly thrown out flowers all summer long.
Yeah.
Not loads, but
But these are the quirks of gardening, aren't they, that we quite enjoy? It's like that lobelia. I cannot believe that lobelia, Angela, that you sent in, that Queen Victoria. There are always some quirks, and we love getting the quirks.
Yeah, there's no set rules in nature and gardening. There really isn't. No, it is evergreen, the Lloyd Petalum. What I like, you see the way we've just literally positioned this in the pot, but can you see the way that it sort of cascades, it meanders? They naturally grow in a very, very nice habit. So they never get too dense, they never take over, they're relatively slow to moderate in terms of their growth patterns, but even in the winter months they look really, really nice. I think the best position is slightly sheltered, so like dappled and slightly sheltered. I did put a couple of mine when I first moved in, a slightly exposed site, and although they survived, they literally clung on. The winds were too cold for them.
Yeah.
So I'd say sheltered.
Dappled shades.
I would say where you'd put an Acer would be the same place as a Lloyd Petalum.
Ah, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, and these would work nicely with Acers.
Yeah, they would.
Really nice, yeah, definitely. We've paired them up with our powdered clay helix planters. The lighter coloured planter is going to work beautifully with that darker foliage. You could even top the pot with some nice white pebbles or something.
Oh, yes.
That would look really beautiful, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but that to me, that was quick. Can that camera just behave?
That camera's not having a good day, is it?
No. That artificial intelligence isn't working.
I know, right? We need camera operators back. we couldn't fit any operators in here. There's not enough space.
Oh, Bex, I just had a terrible thought.
What?
I mentioned artificial intelligence. Will there be a day where we won't even exist and be here? And
yeah, potentially.
And it'll be a hologram.
It'd be boring, wouldn't it?
I don't know. I saw ABBA as a hologram, and they were really good.
Oh, shush! We don't want to get replaced too early, thank you.
No.
I need another 10 years, please. Another 10 years.
I never want to stop presenting gardening, I don't.
The Barks do.
Yes.
He's on the floor by the Strolch. In front of the Strolch.
Yes.
I'll get it.
Go on.
I'm hopping over.
Go on, Bex. Still nimble. I should have offered to do that, shouldn't I? I mean, thinking at home, oh, Shaun could have done that.
No, I'm good. I'm a strong, independent woman. It's quite heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, which actually
don't let it fall.
makes the postage included fantastic.
Yeah.
Because to deliver that would be a considerable sum, you would expect. But we have got postage included today, and it's the ornamental spruce bark, 70 litres.
Oh, it smells good.
It looks good. So we were talking earlier. Sometimes there are areas of your garden that you just want to be lower maintenance. I've got one right now underneath the eucalyptus tree. I've tried to get things to grow. They do grow, but I am constantly having to feed and water. Yeah,
because the eucalyptus does take a lot of the nutrients out of the ground, doesn't it?
Sucks the living daylights out of everything underneath it. Even when it rains, the plants don't get properly watered because the eucalyptus is so big and dense. So I'm actually thinking, because I'm just sick of it, I'm thinking, right, dig all the plants out, put them in pots, cover the whole area in the bark mulch, and then just put the plants in pots so they've got a better environment. I think it's going to look a lot neater. I always get the things that do grow under there are weeds as well, so this is brilliant for suppressing weeds. What I would say, if you're doing a big area with bark mulch, I would probably use a mat first. So I'd put a mat down to suppress the weeds. Yeah, I would. But if you've got the time to do it, you don't have to. But I would put a weed suppressant mat down, then cover it with the bark, and that way you should be pretty much weed free.
Hopefully, yeah, for a long time.
Yeah.
And this is a great time to get hold of this because it is on that half price deal with postage included. So if you are looking to get, you know, quite a large order, which is what you would need to cover that area. I mean, this bag will cover quite a large area. Stu, have you got the details? I'm sorry, I did not memorise the area that it will cover. It is in the details on the product page. It will cover a large area, but now's a good time if you want to buy multiple bags because we've got that half price deal. And look there, postage included, so there's no postage to pay on this.
And the great thing is, if you are one of our 45,000 club members, you do get an extra 10% off as well. So the value for 70 litres is amazing, $13.49. 12
square feet, one of these bags will cover, and active coverage for up to 3 years is what we're saying on this particular item. So decent.
Is that the same? I was going to say 3 square metres. Is that about the same?
I don't know. I can't do that. I can't do that.
I
can't do those conversions.
No, I won't confuse you. Let's stay with feet and inches, yes.
Let's stick with feet and inches.
Yeah.
I know I'm part of the metric system, but I still work in feet and inches.
I'm part of the metric system. But I'm still thinking.
I know. I'm trying to convert because obviously I've got kids now, and I talk to them in feet, and it's kilos. Like, so I'm trying to for their benefit.
Yeah, but
it's hard, isn't it?
I'll always be 5'10". Well, probably not. I'll probably be about 5'9".
You're starting to shrink now, mate.
I don't think I am, you know. What's that in metric?
Gravity gets us all in the end.
I can just say I've been on a health kick recently.
He's been very good.
Only because Stu recorded some footage of me at home and I thought I looked quite fat in the t-shirt, so I've been, since then... Bex thought the same.
I can't say
we did
what
some
I thought.
filming at my garden, the t-shirt was too tight. So since then, Bex, I have actually been to the gym, I've worked out, I've been eating more healthily.
It was the t-shirt, it wasn't
Bought some new t-shirts.
You always look slim.
Oh, no.
You do very well.
I do try.
You do.
I think gardening keeps you pretty fit, though, don't you?
It can do, yeah, definitely.
It
Get
does.
out there and do it.
It really does.
All that bending, stretching, and you know.
It's such a good hobby. And I know we have fun and things on the shows, but we love you watching. We love the fact that you're all gardeners. We love the fact that you're on journeys like we are.
Yeah.
And what a great hobby we've all got. Great for mental health, great for physical health, and so you know. Great for pollinators. You know, every time I would go out in my garden, I see bees and butterflies. That makes me happy as well. So, if you do want to go for our ornamental spruce bark mulch, 49. Do you have any areas that you've mulched, Bex?
No, and it is something I want to do. I want to go around all of the 3 borders that I've got, because obviously I've still got gaps in my garden. My garden's still maturing. I do want to go around and make it look nice and uniform and neat like that. And of course, try and suppress those weeds coming through.
Yeah. Well, we are. So, look, you might while we've got such a good deal today, if you've been thinking the same as me, right, that area, I'm going to make low maintenance. Maybe you're at an age where you really struggle to dig over the borders. Just putting over a bark mulch, it stops those weeds, it helps prevent those weeds coming through, it neatens everything up, it looks attractive, and you might want to multi-order on this while we've got the half price deal today. And if you are a club member, you will get an extra 10% off as well, 100-061 for the ornamental spruce bark mulch there. And don't forget, we have got a brilliant deal right now on our garden ready pansy cool wave. And we've got plug plants, we have got fantastic hanging baskets, like looking at right now, and we have got over here the garden readies as well. So whatever you want to go for, it's all on our website. But what I can genuinely say to everyone at home, I've grown these for many years, and they are the best performing pansy that we know here at YouGarden. They flower up to 10 months of the year. They're supposed to stop flowering in the summer. I've got some in the pub garden that have never stopped flowering. So they've been going now pretty much all year. And you get hundreds, thousands of flowers over the season. And when they really start to bloom, you can barely see the foliage. Now, a little tip. I've sometimes planted these in November. And do you know what? In honesty, they haven't done a lot over November, December, January. They've survived. They've grown a bit. But if you get them established now, while there's still really good hours of daylight, when the temperatures are still warm, you get a head start. So if you plant them in your hanging baskets, your pots, your containers, in the next few weeks, they will grow really quickly in September into October, and then you'll have really well established displays for winter. Leave it too late, and it might take until you get in sort of like into spring for them to really come into their own. So I always think with winter bedding, get a head start, get planting now. These they cascade, they flower for up to 10 months of the year. The flowers are slightly smaller than regular pansies, but bigger than a viola. All you need to do is feed them in the winter months. Not all the time, but every 4 to 6 weeks, give them a good dosage of blooming fast, and do deadhead them. Take off the dead flowers, and they will still perform for up to 10 months of the year. But the buy one, get one free, been really popular today, and the club discount price is only £13.49. Now, something that is on my list today, I always have a list.
Yeah.
And it's got...
Get your bulbs sorted.
Yeah, and I love daffodils. I love narcissus, but the variety of these are really, really unusual. But I love the height of them.
Yeah, the shorter ones I think are... I mean, I love all the daffodils, but the shorter ones I think are so much better because you still get all the joy of the daffodil, but you can plant them in so many more different places. You would not plant the tall daffodils in your window boxes and in your hanging baskets, but you can with these short ones. Classic daffodil shapes included, plus some weird and wonderfuls in there as well. 100 in total. That's incredible.
Yeah, and lots of lovely, different colours, different varieties. And these look great in hanging baskets to really perk them up in the springtime. They look great in pots, containers. They look great front of border. They look great in rockeries as well.
Yeah, I love them.
If you've got a little rockery, absolutely fantastic. And you get 100. And I think you said about planting them in containers.
Yeah, give them to your mum.
For Mother's Day. Yeah, they normally do flower round about Mother's Day, don't they?
Love it.
But that is a fantastic collection, and at £13.49 for club members, amazing. But the biggest value collection is the big 300.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why we've called it Complete Spring Flying Bulb Collection.
I know, because we do. Yeah, we do go into summer a little bit with the collection here. You've got crocus, you've got tulips, you've got Iphion, you've got the muscari, you've got the daffodils, and then of course when you get into the allium mollies and the allium spherocephala drumsticks, we are taking you into the summer months with those. 300 in total, months and months of colour, and of course all of these will naturalise, so they will come back year after year. As long as you let them die back down naturally, they will come back for you year after year.
Yeah, and it works out a ridiculous 5p a bulb, or 4.5p for club members. And then don't forget, I think probably the most tasteful collection that we've got is the Purple Paradise. I mean, this has been beautifully put together to create, I think, a really elegant, sophisticated colour palette. And say when it was the Queen's Jubilee, I did purple, white and silver, and it really did look lovely.
It's a gorgeous combination, very sort of designer in its colour combinations. Of course, you've got that extra interest with the fimbriata on some of those ruffled edges that you can see. Looks like somebody's taken a pair of crimping shears to the edges and cut those out. I adore this collection. I grew loads of tulips this year, but I did not grow the tulip Purple Paradise. So I will be planting these. I'm going to do a whole pot filled with just those. Cannot wait, because I think that's going to be a standout one.
Yeah, it really is. And don't forget the Tulip Purple Paradise you can mix and match with the Crocus collection. So over there, sorry, it's moved. There you go. Those two together, so you can mix and match 3 for 2, so you can go for 3 of the same, 2 Crocus, 1 of the tulips, or vice versa. But you will get 1 pack for free if you put 3 in there.
Yeah, I like the idea of being able to mix and match. So you could go for, 80 of your crocus and then 1 pack of your tulips in there as well. I love crocus. Like we can see there, these can be poking up out of the ground while there's still snow on the ground. They're one of the earliest flowering, and they definitely give you, joy that the dark days are soon to be over.
Yes.
That's what crocus do for me. They make
really
me realise spring is round the corner.
And don't forget, full, obviously all the bulbs we've got on the show, fully winter hardy. Just make sure they do not get waterlogged. Bulbs hate to be sat in water, so if they are going to be in pots and containers, just make sure they've got good drainage.
Let's finish the show with some pictures, shall we? Elaine, I know you've sent me loads of them. I'm just bringing this one up, which is the Nandina, because check out that foliage on there. Yeah, that's what mine looks like. You see these leaves down the bottom here? I've got loads of these looking leaves on there, which I just think is just extra added interest to the plant. So it's not just the colour, but you get this kind of weird and wonderful texture going on with the leaves as well.
That just looks glorious,
I love it. I'm going to try and remember to bring my pot in on Sunday, because that looks incredible. Penny. Oh, here's that beautiful hibiscus. You sent us this picture the other day, didn't you?
What was the variety? Can you remember?
I don't think we knew what the name was. But yeah, it's a beautiful one. Absolutely adore that colour. It's gorgeous.
Isn't that amazing?
Very tropical looking flower you've got there, Penny. Gorgeous. Alistair sent us a few more pictures, he says. Let's have a little look. Oh, Alistair! Look
at those lilies.
Jeez, look at that. Oh, I'd love to come and have a little wander in...
tell you what.
I'd love to come and have a little wander in all your gardens, actually.
I mean...
There's
just colour everywhere there, isn't there?
Obviously taking that on a really bright, sunny day.
Wow.
Yeah, gorgeous. Oh, look at these.
Digitalis. There's some lovely colours there, isn't there?
Gorgeous, very cottage garden feel.
I love the orange ones.
Absolutely beautiful. Let's have a look at a couple more of Elaine's, what she sent us. It's always a surprise. Oh, look! The Rudbeckia's really looking fantastic now as well.
And a bit of Red Baron.
Yeah, a bit of Red Baron coming through there as well.
Nice combi.
Beautiful.
I think that's a lily right at the back. We couldn't see the top of it.
Did you say Grimmy? Oh yeah, Grimmy sent us. What has he sent us? He sent us the Gunnera, the Acer, the Musa Bajou, Fatsias, and I don't know this one, Persicaria. I don't think I know that one. Oh, what is that? Oh no, this isn't Grimmy. This is Nathan, isn't it? East Coast. So we've got the Fatsia in there. That is fantastic. Is that the one I don't know? Is that the Persicaria?
I can see the castor oil.
Oh,
I like that.
Look at that Musa.
Yes. Oh, and it's got the gunner at the front there. There it is.
Oh my word.
Wow. And then the Acer. I want a gunner, but apparently I don't think they sell them anymore. You know.
Oh really?
No, apparently not. I might have to put rhubarb. I might have to put rhubarb in instead and pretend.
Or you can take a cutting from somebody.
Can you?
Can you propagate them? Might be able to get a cutting from somebody.
Send me one, can you? We're out of time. I'm not back on Sunday. I'm away this weekend.
I'm here on Sunday.
I've got a friend's 50th birthday. It should be messy. You're here Sunday, but we're back together next Thursday, aren't we?
Next week, we're back in. I think I've got Adam this Sunday.
Who's absolutely fabulous. We'll
love Adam. Can't wait to see him.
So do tune in on Sunday, 10 till 2. Check out your baskets. Don't forget to use code YGTV3524 and you'll get your free gift, the heavy duty bag. You're going to get all the promotions, and if you spend over £40, you'll get free postage as well. So keep shopping after the show.
The tower pot thing, it's going to be fixed for Sunday. So if you do want that double up deal on the wisteria and on the tower pots, come back on Sunday because it'll be fixed for them.
Well, that was a fabulous show, Bex. Right?
I enjoyed that. It was good fun.
I did. We will see you very shortly. But don't forget, you can watch all the shows on our website and catch up there. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Bye.